Your f***ing soul is mine. Get the f*** over here.
This Australian accent is choking me. all episode.
The Copcast.
I have successfully poisoned everyone, and now I can replace the podcast with much more popular hosts. Let's go.
You won't get away with the...
Drink water.
Three, two, one. I don't have an intro. Hey guys, welcome. We are the Kombat Kings podcast.
Sonic, you had 3 weeks to come up with something, and you didn't
I
do
am
anything.
getting
you
to
are
it.
letting the podcast
Jeez,
down,
you
Sonic.
ruined my moment. Okay, the point I was trying to make was, isn't it good sometimes to reminisce into the past and have some fun looking back at some fun moments and stuff? And so
We're not doing a clip show, are we?
no. This is not. What I want to say is,
Cue the
last
montage.
episode we did, there was a joke. We had a bit where the Force Snake, you showed your beautiful hourglass, and then you tipped it over and rewind time. And so True Underdog wanted me to do an edit, and so when you did that, I rewinded it to the first episode, basically.
Yep.
And
that was awesome. I love that edit. That was
thank
sick.
you. But after that, I just decided to do something kind of funny, and what I did was just I rewatched the entire first episode to kind of see how far we came.
Oh no.
And I gotta say, the first episode has some pretty funny gems that happen in there. You know, we predicted the multiverse just randomly in our conversation before they even announced Mortal Kombat 1 in that video. I wrote down here, Snake still asking about the gender bent art even in the first episode. And then we had the Thor Love and Thunder conversation, which, by the way, I must say, aged like fine wine. I mean, back then we were debating about whether it was like bad or not. Now it's pretty much the Last Jedi on Marvel. It's like people are all on your side, dog. You basically predicted the future of how it would be handled.
You have no idea how hard it was to pretend to my girlfriend that was a good movie because she liked it, and I really had to pretend that I didn't hate every minute of that movie.
So
it was so hard.
So,
but now
the takeaway, guys, is that we're all eagerly anticipating the 12-minute compilations of like the Combat Kings being chaotic prophets for 12 minutes straight. Get on it.
We really do have a lot of predictions. I get like randomly 6 months later, it's like some guy will comment on a video. Oh, dog predicted that. I'm like, what's he talking about? And I go to that timestamp. Oh shit! He just randomly just spouted that nonsense out, and he got it right. Just once in a while.
You gotta put it out in the world, or it's not gonna happen. You gotta lay the seeds. But I still think your prediction was the most hilarious, Sonic, because you made like a 1-to-1 accurate prediction of like the DLC for MK11, and that was super funny.
And a poker
like,
skit just for fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
How long until so and so comes back? Well, you're definitely gone forever. But with Rain, I say this much. How about Melina? And she's like just dead in the cell. Yeah, still that much. And they came with the same
in about a year.
Who do they say is gone forever?
Tanya for MK11 DLC. That's what I said. Yeah.
I thought you said Ferrator. My bad.
Yeah, because if it had been Tor, it would have been very accurate because that fucker's dead. He's not coming back.
Oh, most likely. Oh, we'll get to that in just a bit. I'm just about to finish my entire like bit here. You know, I'm finishing up the Sonic's dumb bullshit part that you listed out there, Snake. So I just wanted to say, reminiscing in that first episode, there was something that really caught me off guard, and I gotta say, True Underdog, well played. I can't believe this whole entire podcast led to this point. You actually trying to manipulate me and my co-host, the Force Snake, this entire time. I'm on to you, True William Dog, what you've done here. Do you guys remember our first topic we had for this podcast? Do you guys remember what we did?
The name?
Yes. We came up with podcast names, and we came up with many of them. Do you remember, True William Dog, what your suggestion was?
Who told you my real name?
It wasn't like Top Tier or something, was it? Then they just stole it for his comic.
Yes. It was Top Tier. We were about to be called Top Tier. his comic name was going to be our podcast name. It was almost going to happen. So we were going to be a podcast solely for True Underdog. I'm onto you. I'm onto you, True Underdog. How dare you?
Could you imagine though, on Earth 2, this podcast is top tier, then his comic is the Combat Kings.
Combat Kings, yes.
And then people are like, what's that name about? Combat Kings? Like, well, I'm just a big fan of Mortal Kombat and Tekken. It's just stole from both of them.
And it just sells so well, like, because it's got combat in the title, and everyone's like, oh, just Mortal Kombat? Opens the book.
Ah, true.
No. But I still liked it. But it's not Mortal Kombat. It is kind of funny that Mortal Kombat pulled that off. Like, if you put K for any of your C words, people are going to think, did Mortal Kombat influence this? Or at the very least, they're going to be like, I'm thinking of Mortal Kombat now.
I mean, like, even in their own universe and games, they have so many things with K, continue, or whatnot.
I remember Ultimecia in Final Fantasy VIII does that. Turns all of the C's into K's in her text dialogue. And then when Spoonie was doing his big review, he described it as speaking in Mortal Kombatese. So, yeah.
Nice.
True.
I am kind of curious, the chicken or the egg situation. Did you come up with that name for the podcast first or for your comic?
Oh, the podcast for sure. The podcast was
cool.
Years ago. The comic book was like actually made in 3 months or so. Like I made that thing pretty quick.
And you can't get it to your viewers, to the people who paid for it in time, can you? You can't do that fast.
He's almost done. He sent the Google mails to all of us.
That's the idea.
Yeah,
it's a clever segue into him saying that.
True. The packaging has begun. Yeah. I got all my boxes, and I'm doing it all manually, hoping I can somehow make this this money back somehow on a tax break, a write-off or something, because it's expensive to buy packaging, it turns out.
What was that,
I did not account for that cost.
The packaging what?
The comic, yes.
Has begun.
And everything else. I'm not sure exactly how to bundle it all together. I'm thinking I'll just tape all the boxes together. It'd probably work. Like if you did the merchandise, for example, you get like the shirt, right, and the hat. I'm thinking that'll go in a box all nicely folded, and then I'll just tape it to the comic book box. Just wrap tape all around the whole thing so it can't get separated. Because I don't know how to creatively put it all in the same box. Nor do I want to, because the comics, I spent extra money on the comic packaging to make sure it can't get bent. Because some people are lazy and just put it in like the thicker kind of white. It's not a manila envelope, but it's the same kind of shape, but it's like cardboard, but it's still thin. And in those, the corners can get bent on your comic because like they're not rigid. So like you still get it bent and shit when it's tossed around. So I'm giving it like an actual square box that's made for holding comics, and I'm gonna put bubble wrap in there too. So it should be very safe.
I just saw Snake do the Globku thing 2 times.
Oh.
Now I just noticed it.
And in fairness, Dog, I'll say this: that you did give everyone who paid for it the digital version, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I've already read the comic.
It was taking
printers.
a bit too long. So here's the digital version. That's good. No, it's beyond his control to really, but that's good. Good businessman.
I have an idea, but I'm not sure if people will understand the sentiment behind it. So cover A had a misprint. So I have to get cover A reprinted. But I'm thinking about, for the people who ordered cover A and the triple pack, I'll give them both. I'll give them the correct version and the misprint, because that's technically like a wheat penny. It's a collector's item because it's a misprint.
Yeah,
so it's actually worth more to have that. So I would hope they'd appreciate it, but I'd worry that the concept would be lost, and they'd be like, why do I have a broken version of the comic and a normal version?
I got a question. What's broken about the broken version?
I'll get it. I'll show you an example.
Okay,
it's so hard to see. It's so negligible, but it's still like, it feels unprofessional to send it like that. But let me.
Okay, that's very nice. I believe I have cover A too, so I think that's the one that, because I think out of all the covers that was my favorite. So I think I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's cover A. So we shall see.
I will clarify. This is a new gun, and it is in fact also fake. It's just hard to tell because the lighting on my camera is so bad. So it's like, oh look, the orange is just gone. You can't see it, but it is there. It is. Yes. It's not real. These aren't real bullets.
Don't worry. The Force Snake is not going to be doing a Bon Voyage cosplay. Okay, guys, do not worry. That's all I'll say.
I would not buy a real gun, because if I had a real gun, I couldn't do fake harakiri bits. So, and you all know that's my bread and butter. That's like my go-to bit. Even when we have guests on, and it's just what I go to when I can't think of anything. So, fortunately, I don't have access to a real gun. Otherwise, this episode would get demonetized pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed none of you got my Bon Voyage joke. Anyways, dog. So you brought the cover.
No. I mean,
Oh, you did. You did.
Bon Voyage doesn't carry a gun. I'm
Sure
pretty sure. So
Yes.
So I didn't understand why you're referencing this guy whose gimmick is bombs. It's in his name. What are you doing, Sonic? What are you doing?
So you don't get what I said there. Okay, got you.
No.
I had no way of
I'll talk about it after the
out of
episode.
context,
I'll talk
yeah.
about it after the episode.
The main issue is that I put the credits at the bottom of the cover too low, so they got chopped off. So you legit can only see the very bottom of our name. The top of our names are still there, but the rest is chopped. Can you tell?
I see. You can see a little white line down there too.
Yeah,
Wait,
you
that's
can
cover
barely
A?
see the
I thought
top of
cover
the
A
letters.
was the other.
This is cover A.
Oh, I guess that's not my. I thought I had cover A. I got the cover
Cover B
with
is
like.
cover B is the one you've seen all everywhere, with like the guy in the front like this and everyone behind him. That's the collector's
think
one
that's
that
the
you
one
can
I
only
got.
get in the Indiegogo. It's the most ordered is cover B because it's like
Okay,
only
okay.
in the Indiegogo. Yeah, what's up?
I just had a fun idea. You could do variant covers. Like each from this point on, every issue could have a variant cover that's based on like a classic fighting game cover.
That'd be
So,
cool.
so one of them is Injustice. So here's 5 of the characters at the top, then here's 2 guys duking out at the bottom.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Then
Yeah.
And then like for the Mortal Kombat tribute one, it's literally just the logo because MK has done that for the longest time.
True. Yeah, I remember what was that movie called? The video game movie, based off of like the book.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, Ready Player One did a lot of posters like that too, just like their
Mortal
characters referencing all the
Kombat.
other character like
Goro's
posters
in
and
that
stuff like
movie.
that.
And he looked better
He
than the
is.
2021 movie.
He does. It's very funny. It's still
Yeah,
funny.
I like the behind the scenes where they just went up to Ed Boon and was like, "Can we get a Goro model?" He's like, "Okay, here you go." And just like that. That was it.
I mean, it would be very easy to do a Marvel versus Capcom style cover where everyone's like looking at each other.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a
that's
very
fine.
easy one to do.
That's a very easy one. True.
But it's got to
Well, I
come
mean,
after
it's
the
easy
swimsuit
in
variant,
concept, but you have
okay?
to draw a lot of characters. Like that's the scary part.
I'm not the one drawing it anymore. Like I did all the concept art. Now it's up to that guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean
my
too.
artist.
Like a lot of work.
And I know we're not going to
but
spend much time on this topic, but I just got to gush about him like for 2 seconds because I will say every time I go back and read the comic to check for any errors or misprints on the pages, I'm just reminded how good he did with like the camera angles and stuff, like how dynamic it is. Like I love for his first time doing a manga style comic, he really nailed a lot of those ideas. Like he even did the whole like one character down looking up when someone jumps in the sky and like the sun's behind them. Like he even did that kind of thing. And I'm like, it's just awesome. Like all these fun
Very
ideas.
nice.
I did not put that in the. I do sometimes say what's happening in my script. I didn't get that detail with it. That's him.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, funny thing is though, I had the reason why I did this whole entire segue of talking about the first episode of the Combat Kings is because at the end of the episode, Snake brought up that we could do a Q&A. And so that's why I suggested to you guys, why don't we try that actually? Because maybe we weren't going to have a lot of topics this week, which unfortunately we might go over time again, but we'll see. The point is, by the end of this episode, we probably will answer like 2 or 3 of your questions and maybe more going forward. And we'll get more into that with the Q&A stuff. The point is, I watched the first episode and that's what inspired me to do the Q&A this week, this episode. All right, I guess in that case, we're going to talk about Mavadi.
I love that.
That's good. We're going to talk about Ray William Johnson. A lot of people like that joke.
With my mom.
I gotta say, before we get into gameplay, mad props to whoever at NRS is a giant Devil May Cry fan. I mean, with what they do in Kenshi, getting Casey Edwards, and even last time we did an episode, we were like, bro, wouldn't it be cool if they turned his like suit into his, like the leather jacket into like red and stuff like that? Bam, his first default you unlock with the brown pants. It's like,
Yeah.
oh come on,
Yep.
that is
Because
giant reference.
For those who don't know, Dante in Devil May Cry always has a red coat, but in DMC 3 specifically, he was shirtless, like Mavado, underneath the jacket, and his pants were brown, which is not normally as like red or black. But he had
Yeah.
brown for that one, and and I think even the straps in between are brown, like the one he actually wears to holster his guns. So it really is just other than the fact his hair is still black, it's like this is just DMC 3 Dante. It's great.
Yeah.
It's just someone has to be a fan of Devil May Cry there. They have to be.
Well, that's what's cool though. You should always do like a bunch of palettes that reference other characters. Like I
Yeah.
loved how even in Skullgirls, which I know Skullgirls is made by fighting game fans anyway, but I love how like characters have, oh, that's a Morgan palette. That's clearly a giant Morgan reference, and this is clearly a giant that reference. Like, more of that. Like, NetherRealm, why do so many of the cameos have the most muted, bland color schemes I've ever seen?
Well,
like, here's a very dull, very light color.
Muted, bland, or just hideous combinations that don't go together at all. I'm not even like a fashion guy. Like, you can fucking see from what I'm wearing. But even I'm like, these colors just don't go together. What the fuck are you doing? It's hideous.
Oh, actually, a bit of an update. I did hear that. Remember, there was that one thing about how like the Quan Chi palette, like they had the exact same one for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Apparently, that was a mistake, and they actually updated it.
Oh.
Like right now, it's different.
Cool.
Is what I've heard. Yeah. So that actually was a legit mistake.
What I heard is that it is different if you have certain tattoos. Like certain tattoos will be colored differently with those two skins, but maybe it's possible that they did just mess up and put in the wrong palette, and it was supposed to be a different one. Which, if they fixed it, then that's good. It's good. That I mean, they do these like stealth updates. Like, I don't know if you two have noticed, but I said this on Twitter. They have changed the physics for the severed head in the classic Brutality. We uppercut the head off. It doesn't just go and then flop down and then usually land right underneath where they sit down on their own head. It flies off into off screen.
Oh, really?
It has like a really nice arc to it now.
I didn't notice
check
that.
it out. It
looks
great
more, actually.
It's fantastic now.
That's great, because the game starts off with them getting bugged. If you have the PC version, their head will just be there, and they'll be floating there while they die. So I'm glad they fixed that in that aspect.
I don't think it was with the Mavado update, because I played a bit when Mavado came out, obviously, but when I came back to it this week for the to do my weekly challenges and that, because I was still addicted to getting all the skins. When I was doing that, I noticed that it had changed from last week, so they just changed it. Not as part of a big update, and they just didn't tell anyone. I don't understand NetherRealm, nice. but I'm grateful they're making these little changes. That's good. Now fix everything else.
The game definitely is better than it was 6 months ago. Like, it actually has been slowly momenting to a point where now you can see like a very clear difference. There's obviously still a lot they need to fix, but I mean, there's a clear difference now. It's like, okay, it's nice to see how far we've been going through it. But anyways, let's continue with the Mavado. I don't really have any other stuff to say about his other palettes. I appreciate, because last time Dog just said, please don't all be black with slight differences, and they aren't. We have white coat Mavado, yellow coat Mavado, then more tinted blue coat and stuff like that. Not much to say, but I mean, just like, it's cool. We got some other ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Better than even Scorpion got, because half is just like, let's just swap the yellow and black around, or add a bit of red here, and that's it. And you're like, but this is terrible.
What are you talking about? Green and orange Scorpion is awesome. Come on.
I mean, some of those cyber recolors are just hideous. Like those two did not. Those two were done so dirty, but I mean, it also carries over to the new ones you get to fight in invasions, where it's like this one will blow up after a certain amount of time, and it's like, why does like the blue look so off? Like it looks photoshopped, like by a fan, not like an official recolor. It's so strange.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean, and I guess they're going for like how some old-timey cars look with that weird like flat color. Maybe they're going for that, but it's still a weird. It doesn't look good.
Yeah,
I do love those challenges though, because they're so brain dead easy for anyone that knows even a slightly damaging combo with your character. It's like, oh yeah, we're done here. Like
it's just for me to like rust off some combos here to try out and whatnot.
Actually, it's also been noted that you can, as Shang Tsung, you can shapeshift into those cyborgs.
That's right. That was a recent thing that people found out about. You can literally shapeshift into their design. You can't do that in the chapter 15. You can't shapeshift into the hybrids.
That's a shame.
But for these cyborgs, you actually can, and it's basically Smoke's moveset. But then some of them you get like effects, because when you're like the blue cyborg, you get like the ice effect. That's like the clip that I saw recently.
Interesting.
Pretty cool stuff. But now on to Mavado's gameplay.
Poor guy.
So,
he keeps getting like derailed.
What?
Mavado keeps getting derailed. Like we mentioned his palette, then we just go on a tangent about palettes. We mentioned
palettes
like
in general, yeah.
this, and now we're talking about the cyborgs and the invasion and brutalities.
I'll say my thing before I hand it off to Dog and then just fiddle around with my guns for the next 20 minutes while he talks gameplay.
Sure, no problem.
The fatality is obviously based on the original from Deadly Alliance. I wish it was still as goofy as the original, where it looks so silly. What they've done with it is fine. My issue is the fact that instead of having these like cords that on the elastic, it's just like strips, and I don't think it looks as good. But it's
an interesting change. Not a big deal. Yeah.
And the other thing is, my favorite move of his is the back move. Where he like it's basically like Strikers where he like arrests you, but instead it's like mixed with Scorpion's spear pull, so they just both go flying into each other, and it's so funny. I like it a lot.
It's a very funny move. I do like his brutality when you like I forgot how do you activate it, but it's like he basically just stomps on you until you die.
This is the forward throw. Yeah, it's just his basic forward throw.
Oh, the forward throw?
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he just does that basically.
And he actually does a little dance. He's not just stepping on you angrily. He does a little hand wave like back and forth. So he's actually dancing while he's doing it. He's messing with you. Like he absolutely is.
Yeah.
He's a little scumbag.
The interesting thing about Mavado, in my opinion, is like on first glance, I feel like this is a character that's like the most simplest in terms of like the new cameos go. It's like because every cameo we've gotten is like, I don't know, like a math degree complicatedness is like, oh, 3 phases of tremor, oh, you can switch a chameleon, oh, Janet has like a mini Sentinel and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, finally Mavado is gonna just be a classic like whatever-y like cameo. But with that being said though, I still think Mavado provides a lot of new things that no other cameo has provided in this game still. Like the only thing that probably resembles something that other characters can do is that trap. But even then, that trap is still like an interesting mechanic and stuff. But everything else is very different. So I quite appreciate that aspect with him.
He's also the only cameo character that nerfs your health that badly. He gives you minus 100. So that's
you get
kind
some
of an
minus
interesting
50s,
way to balance him.
But he's minus 100. So whatever benefits you get from him, you are also losing 10% of your HP. Like, if you're okay with that or not is up to you.
And then for the rest of the Mavado breakdown, check out my video that already breaks them down. It's right there. It's on screen. Check it out.
Okay. If you want to save some time, yeah, you can check that out. I actually had more myself. I had more to like say about like Mavado because like his like extender moves I think is a great way of like especially for like newer players to like use because a lot of characters when you want to extend combos you have to say for example like Scorpion, that's like everyone's favorite like air extending combo like guy. So basically it's like do a combo, then extend the combo with Scorpion, and then keep doing it. But sometimes timing is an issue, and timing that is actually quite difficult. And also, there are times when you want to do a combo, you have to kind of like do a gamble with it. For example, like if I'm saying like for Reptile, in the past, when he did the tail swing, that move, that's just a tail swing, period. But if you did a tail swing and while you're mid like doing that animation, summon Scorpion, then you do the tail swing, it hits, then Scorpion's fire, will hit the person in the air, and then you can extend that combo.
Yep.
Now the trade back for that is you have to predict that this move is going to hit. So if your opponent was blocking, you wasted your cameo. So but you have to do that if you want to get that. It's the same with like Janet Cage's like move in the air. Sometimes you have to like predict that thing. And that makes it kind of difficult and also kind of makes you feel, oh, I just wasted half my cameo bar for that. But Mavado is literally like that, except you can't summon him unless if it's guaranteed, like, it's a juggle stay. And for that aspect, that actually, like, makes doing a lot of those combos, in my opinion, a lot easier and more like, oh, I want to try going for those since it's not like I'm going to waste a cameo bar and stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like an option select. Like, it actually is an option select where the game will give you what you want in both situations. Just hold the button. If you launch the opponent because you hit them, he'll come out. If they blocked it, they don't get launched, so he just stays safe. He doesn't do nothing.
Yeah.
He just stays behind the scenes.
Even if you did press it too. Exactly, yeah. Which actually kind of makes me appreciate Mavado in a way that's like, I think this guy is actually a lot more easier to use than a lot of the current new cameos we get. And complicated cameos make for some fun combos and stuff, but I also kind of appreciate just being able to do shit in a way, yeah, because Mavado for the most part is quite easy to use. You know, the most complicated thing you got to do with him is just a perfect block.
it is nice to be getting such a beginner-friendly cameo now because, like you said, the other ones have had these like very specific gimmicks. Like you have to get good RNG almost with Chameleon to be able to use her effectively, and then you got Tremor with his variations in that.
Switch dancing and stuff.
And now we're getting Ferra, and we don't really know what's going on with her, but she jumps on your back. She looks like she's going to be rather complicated, so it's nice to have one who's just, here's what this guy does. It's very easy. He'll even, like, stop you from using him at an inopportune time. Because, trust me, player, you don't want to use me now. Wait till you're in the right situation. It's nice.
Yeah. So, something funny about Mavado that I did not cover in my video, because I did not know this was a funny little thing that he can do. It's not intentional, but I don't think they should nerf it because it's just so funny that he can do this. So, because Mavado's requirement for that move where he comes from the sky or comes from behind the opponent where he kicks them in the back, the only requirement is they're in a juggle state, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have to be the one that put them in that state. So, for example, if they try to do one of those moves that interrupts their own thing, but you're launched higher so they get up and can keep the combo going, because they still made themselves airborne for a split second, he can fly in and kick them and ruin their whole game plan. So it looks super funny where like they'll grab you with, say like they summon Cyrax's bomb, right? When he holds it and they shove you into the bomb, but the explosion hits you both, but you get launched way up and you're only, the person who threw you is barely launched at all. So they're like, oh, I'm going to get up and combo you. No. And comes Mavado and just hits him in the back of the head and ruins their whole plan. It's so funny to watch.
Denied.
I saw that. It's so funny.
It's the best. I love that shit. And when it first happened to me, I was so caught off guard. It activated like a tiny fight or flight response. I went, huh?
Huh?
What just happened? Like my world has been completely destroyed for a split second. And my buddy went, because he knew about it. I was like, what?
I'm excited to see that in tournaments. I did see recently a tournament that had like the funniest ending, which is like both characters are like super low on HP and they both have Mavado. And then I saw, because Honeybee uses Mavado, trying him a lot now. He's been doing funny ways where it's like, opponent has like 6% HP, he's comboing Honeybee, and then he just perfect blocks him, and then Mavado comes out and shoves him up, and he wins. Because Mavado deals 8% HP. Or even use the Nomad, get them both together, pop, slam them together, and also win that way. It's very funny. But I did see one time in a tournament, where the Astra player was in a desperate situation, and just summons the Nomad and hits them both together. And the match ends because Astra had 2% HP and she killed herself.
Yep.
I like,
gotta be careful about
that is so funny. It's like, when that happened.
It's the new Jax.
Yeah. I also think it's funny is because like even if you think that like Mavado jumping in stuff is too like complicated for you, just use his traps or his is it the down cameo where he like slips in, does a little like
little sliding kick.
Yeah, just do that. Just constantly do that. You'll be pretty good too. You'll be having a net positive every time you do a little bit of a poke. 6% there. You can block it though, which is also a thing to condition. But one of my favorite things to do with that is like I think it's guaranteed if you do a fatal blow, right? I think I remember hearing about that. If you do a fatal blow, the combo ends. Okay, you win. I see so many times people do that.
That'd be interesting. That'd be a very interesting exploit. I don't know, but that sounds fascinating.
Because I think I heard it is
mention,
guaranteed or something.
It's almost still guaranteed anyway because people are not just expecting the end of the combo to be tacked on by a little slidey boy that kicks you when you're laying down. It's going to be pretty good for... it'd be interesting for Katana to do stuff with that because she has that little setup in the corner where she puts down the little vortex puddle, the little swirly stuff, and if you wake up into it, she can throw you, and it's unavoidable. You can't jump to avoid that thing, and you can't break the throw. You'll get grabbed instantly, but the way to beat it is delayed wake up. But if you have Mavado, I wonder if his kick will still hit them and activate the portal and send them flying up.
Ooh, maybe.
That'd be super interesting.
True.
I've been learning some Katana recently because Katana and Jax, it turns out, is very broken. We've known this for like half a year, but I never experimented with the team. So I'm like doing research and I'm like, oh, they are very busted. I want to say one thing cosmetically about Mavado that makes me sad, and it's that his intro and outro animations are very lacking, in my personal opinion. Like,
Isn't just
he just
like,
he just walks in and
like
does his hair. I expected him to come Spider-Manning in with like the cables or something, looking all badass, or
I see what you mean.
or at least like flinging in, but he doesn't. Although what is kind of funny is for his outro, and for a lot of characters you don't see it because like the outro focuses on your main character at first. But if the character you're playing has like a wide shot, then you'll see that Mavado like Naruto slides into frame when you win. He's like this, and like it slides in real low. So it's kind of funny to watch him zoom in. But
I gotta see the free cam for that.
I just had an amazing idea for an animation they could have done. I mean, maybe it does, and I just not noticed it. But in Armageddon's Conquest mode, when you fight Mavado during the story and you beat him, you don't see this, but a text box explains what happens is he uses his rope to escape. So it's like, I'm pretty sure he's on the ground and like launches it and like slides himself away. And like I want to see that as his animation for if you hit him while he's trying to do a move and he goes down, he just goes and pulls himself away.
That would be kind of funny. Just maybe in like a story expansion, it's like Mavado's about to be killed, just like, or something like that.
Another thing I want to see is I want to see some people mod Spider-Man over him.
Because that'd be
he's
fun.
so Spider-Man, and then that's the fatality that you have Spider-Man use on J. Jonah Jameson. Not holding him in front of a train while flying. That's not a Spider-Man thing. But like being like, yeah, I'm gonna Raimi film launch myself right through you because I'm the evil Spider-Man from the Mortal Kombat universe, aka what NetherRealm would have come up with if they had made the Marvel Injustice game. Yeah, that's what I want to see. That'd be funny.
Evil
that mod's already
Spider-Man.
done too. It was like day 2. They already had the Spider-Man mod. Like you can even find video of it. It's pretty funny. And they're already showing him swing around doing stuff. It's pretty funny. And it's the black suit because that's easier to do with the cables. Cause you just make them
That
black.
also makes sense with evil Spider-Man if it's a black suit.
Push him too far. The writers did it. The modern Marvel writers pushed Peter Parker too far, and he finally snapped.
Yeah, so that's Mavado. I'm actually currently probably like one of my favorite cameos as of right now. Like design and aesthetic wise, still Chameleon, but gameplay wise, I really like Mavado.
Very fun. Every throw now does 25% damage minimum. It's pretty funny.
Yep. So next up we have, by the way, just so you know, right when we're recording this, there has not been the gameplay trailer for Homelander yet. That'll hopefully be a week and not like the moment we're done recording this, which happens all the time. But yeah, currently we have the tiny 40-second tease of Homelander and Ferra, so probably not gonna say too much about the situation. But yeah, what'd you guys think about totally Anthony Starr as Homelander and whatnot? I feel like
I hate the milk. I hate the milk.
I was the elephant in the room. I knew that was gonna be the
don't
first
like
thing
it.
we bring up. I knew it.
If it was just a taunt, that's fine. If it was one of 4 victory poses, fine. But it's the only one he's got. It's the equivalent of like if if Omni-Man's victory pose, the only one he has is him going, think! It's like, yeah, we get the meme, but
I mean,
yeah, but I mean, like, that was his victory pose, not just like a round end taunt.
that is his round end taunt. Yeah.
It was like, if it was the actual victory pose for every match where a finisher isn't used, I'd be like, that's terrible. That's simply atrocious. Why would you do this?
Yeah. I was very sad.
Fortunately, it is very easy for them to just staple the system of adding alternate victory poses onto the game. It's very easy for them to do that. They should. Maybe with the expansion. Maybe with the expansion is like instead of having friendships, they'll be like, here's more customization options. Who knows? But like as it currently sounds, like the milk thing is so dumb.
Well, I know Snake and Dog hate the milk thing. I'm in the crowd of just I like silly shit. So I had a good laugh with that. With that being said, though, there's a couple of funny like things I did see. For one, the animator, one of the animators in Mortal Kombat got like a Q&A question. It's like, what is your favorite animation you've done in like the game series? And he posted like one of the intros of like Joker doing like the blood on the lips to like prepare and stuff like that. But he's like, there is one, but I can't say what it is just yet. But there is one. Once the Homelander came out, and he's like, yep, that's me. And everyone does like I don't know if you know the Toy Story gif of like Woody being like, you!
So it was the milk one.
It's your fault watching that scene like 12 times to get it completely correct. He's like, I had to watch that scene so many times to make it very, very correct.
Honestly, it's like, if you wanted to do one of the memes for a victory pose, surely the laugh would have been better. But
Which laugh?
Oh, where he's like realizes, oh, everyone doesn't hate me.
Oh, that one.
Although to be fair, I bet that's going to be in his fatality.
You know what? I bet I bet nothing in season 3 will be in his game because they've already been making Homelander for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? Because I just feel like I don't think anything season 3 is going to be in his moveset. I would love to be wrong, but
it's kind of yeah. I say it's almost supported by the fact that the first fatality of his we see is the way he kills a major character in season 1. Like they took that as a fatality, and
and the plane, which is also season 1 too.
Yeah, so it does seem to be very beginner friendly. I mean, even the milk thing is from season 1. Like this is all stuff from.
No,
is it not?
The milk thing was season 2 because season 1 he had the person to provide the milk.
Right. Yes.
Right, I gotta put it like that way.
So it is.
That's season 2.
It's like the first 2 seasons. It seems to be. We don't want to spoil too much.
Imagine that was his outro instead. Like she comes into frame on a couch, he like lays on her lap, and starts sucking her thumb or something. Yeah.
I saw another tweet that was really funny. It was basically being like, okay, you know what? If you perform a fatality on me or brutality on me, you're kind of BMing me. I get that. But all Homelander players, brutality me or fatality me. This is a homie brutality, okay? So we don't see the outro. So we don't see the milk. Do a brutality on me. Understand?
I really do hope we get at least one season 2 like victory quote for when you do a brutality, because one of them has to be, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Oh, has to be.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Gotta be.
That'll probably
little red glowing eyes.
That's probably going to be like an intro against like Lee May or something, or
that sounds like a pretty cool brutality, like you said there. Yeah.
Imagine he locks arms with Lee May and he's like, "You don't have a baby or anything, do you? Why would you ask such a weird question?" It's like no reason. Definitely not looking for a new person to titty suck.
The idea of picking Lee May for
took me a while.
Lee May for the mommy milky is like, surely he'd go for like Sindel or something.
That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you were thinking
but she already has 2 grown kids though. But I thought Lee May just because the joke is that she looks like a mom, like age-wise, but she's not. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, this is Grandma Kombat."
That feels like the kind of joke that would be deemed inappropriate to make with. Because then it's almost
also,
making fun of the face.
The way you put it there, I didn't understand it for a sec, so it's a bit hard. I actually do really like the well, this isn't really like in the trailer, but the fan animation of his fatal blow. I remember I sent that before to you guys. Where basically it's like when he gets into a fatal blow, he does the woo pose.
Oh yeah.
It's like a really well done fan animation. I do hope like they go hard with those too.
I did like that fatal blow only because they're showcasing how strong Homelander is without having to try. It's the only fatal blow where like the person's not going 100% with their moves. I found that really cool. Like the little head slap, just barely trying, walks up, just like gently presses hand down because he's that strong. I like the idea of that because even Omni-Man wouldn't do that. He goes all in no matter what. He's gonna kill you. But Homelander would be like, "Oh, we're crushing skulls. That's like what I got to do. All right."
Which kind of speaks to the actual characters in a way, because of course Omni-Man does kill people, but he doesn't like kill a lot of people the way Homelander does. Homelander's like, that's his default. Omni-Man doesn't kill as many. Well, he does kill quite a few, but he's not like he's not murder happy. He's more like when it's necessary.
He gets the job done.
Unless it's like season 2 goes way further with it, because I've not seen it yet. But but he's got more like the mentality of a soldier.
Yeah,
and so he's like, so when he's going all in, he's going to go all in because he wants to get the job done. Whereas Homelander's just enjoying it. He's like, I'm a god. I do whatever the fuck I want. Let me show you how much you don't want to fuck with me. So
with that being said, though, that is a reference too.
It does represent the personalities well, I would say.
Yeah. That's a fan animation also, but yeah, that would be fun if we get that too. But that is also a reference.
The question is then, will the voice actor be able to convey the character? That's the important question. Because
we shall see.
Because we don't know who it is for sure yet. Someone has made.
We're 90% certain who it is, but sure, we're not 100% certain yet.
I hope it goes well if it is that person, because if that's 2 in a row that are bad, people are not going to like him anymore. They're going to go, this guy's bad.
Luck.
He do bad role. He not good at the good impression. It's a shame.
You know what would be a really cool fatal blow? Actually, another idea for Homelander. Just when he lands the fatal blow, just spawn in a bunch of random civilians so that when he goes to heat vision the opponent, he like kills 5 people by accident.
Oops.
That'd be awesome. And he's like, oh, well,
There's
Ashley, delete the footage, Ashley.
I said a funny idea is that when they do put out the trailer, if they're smart and they're able to, they should try and get like some kind of teaser for the 2021 sequel to the 2021 movie, because look, there's the Boys co-star playing Johnny Cage. What if we get like a preview of that to go alongside this?
You actually funny thing is though, like Ed Boon actually did tweet saying like that, like we got the Johnny Cage and then we got the Homelander. He made a tweet about that recently too, so it's funny that he knows about like that connection there. I was thinking they can make the trailer pretty fun in a way where it's like, here it's like they kind of make like the VOT, the company, it's like they're promoting like a Homelander promotion or something like that. Those are always fun to see too.
Yeah. I mean, the Call of Duty, the Boys trailer was done like that as well.
Nice.
They really should do that, because I think it was Murdonic who pointed out that these trailers are very formulaic and basically predicted what the trailer is very likely going to be. And it's like, if they did a vault thing, that would be really cool. We wanted to see something cool and interesting with these reveals, especially since it's not most fighting games. It's like we don't know who we're going to get in the thing until the trailer comes out.
Yes.
So that's the big draw there. But here it's just, we know who we're getting. We're just looking at what the moves are, what references are being made. Maybe we'll get a tease for something else. Like I think Quan Chi's trailer had a cameo, a little tease for Peacemaker, and that was it.
Yes.
We don't often get anything unexpected in these trailers. So if they did something like that, that'd be cool.
The Ermac trailer, the interesting tease in there was the new Reptile moves. And then afterwards, they're like new Reptile moves, new Scorpion moves, new Shujinko moves, new Rain moves. So that was the interesting tease there. So we'll see who gets beat up and be like, oh, Vime, new moves. Ooh, oh, Sub-Zero, new moves. Whoever gets beat up.
I'm honestly very, very curious how they're going to give a full set to Homelander as far as attacks, because I can't think of so many iconic things that he does in the show, really.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are they going to do? I'm
it's
hoping
sort of the same with
Omni-Man
too, right?
Well, I mean, at least Omni-Man, you had some that you could draw inspiration from. I can only think of like 2 things Homelander does that are like iconic, and they kind of put one in the Fatality, and they did the ear pop in the Fan Fatal Blow, which is also an iconic like thing.
But that also does speak a bit to the concern a lot of people have is the original stuff they give him. Have they perhaps run out of ideas from doing a lot of the similar stuff with Omni-Man? Like, what unique new stuff can they give to him that they've not already done before? That's why it's such a weird timing to have these two together.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I had a theory that popped into my head just now, and it was inspired by the Fan Fatal Blow, which I already seen, but I just put 2 and 2 together. There might be a reason why they emphasized so much Omni-Man's speed during his gameplay. I'm wondering if Homelander is going to be more cocky and like casual with his moves. Like, so for example, Omni-Man grabs you, flies off screen super fast, then comes back and drags you on the floor. Homelander might just pick you up, crush your jaw, and then just toss you casually in the air, like, ugh, like you're not worth it, and then fall up, you know? That might be the difference, is that one's very like, I'm going to kill you my own way because I'm not threatened, whereas Omni-Man's like, I'm speedrunning everybody. I don't care if you're an ant or if you're another Viltrum. I'm going to freaking speedrun your ass.
That also
true.
That would... I remember when we were talking, I think it was when we had Wooly on, we were talking about it around the time Omni-Man was being shown off. And
we brought up the milk with Wooly too, I remember that.
I'm going to milk you.
Yes.
I think we theorized that Homelander might be a bit more of a zoner with his laser eyes, because that's obviously one of the main things he does in the show.
And they emphasize that in the trailer too,
which
with
it's
laser
like a big thing he has that Omni-Man doesn't, and so that would make sense if Omni-Man's like more like a fast, more of a rushdown type guy, whereas Homelander's here like basically just standing still, just shooting you with lasers because he doesn't think you're worth it.
I would say like Omni-Man has a lot of focusing on flying around, so maybe Homelander might focus more on like brute force and laser eyes and stuff like that if they want to differentiate the two characters.
Which would be really funny, because in the reveal trailer, Homelander's the one who descends from the sky, while Omni-Man just starts off there standing in the field like a loser.
Oh yeah, the reveal trailer.
So
true,
like
true.
a weirded version of what they showed off.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
also a
see.
huge contrast between... Sorry, go ahead.
No, like the team NRS seem very confident in differentiating these two characters. Like, oh, we know what we're doing. We know we're gonna be very different. Like they're pretty confident in that. In fact, it felt like they put it off a way of being like, we know what we're doing in that aspect and stuff. So we'll see. Yeah.
And I definitely look forward to it. Another big contrast is that, like Snake was bringing up, like the contrast between the original reveal trailer for the Combat Pack, where Homelander floats in all scary like, and even the music goes like kind of horrifying when he lowers
Jesus
in, right? He's like, oh no, here he is. Well, like, yeah, the Antichrist, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then what do we get for the actual first gameplay reveal? Like, it could not be more different. I was like, they didn't keep that tone at all. Immediately made it funny.
We're gonna talk about Ferra in just a bit, but I still think it's super funny as you just see like Homelander being drinking that milk, and in the background I just imagine Ferra like cheering for him. Yeah, I'm gonna drink the milk. Yeah! That basically in the background.
It does pair surprisingly well to hear her cackling and him like.
But yeah, I don't think we should theorize too much about Homelander because we're gonna get his gameplay trailer super soon. So there's no point really talking about too much. So anything else you guys want to like end off with Homelander?
I'm going to guess that his gear will be his cape with a focus on his shoulders, like shoulder gear he has. Cool. Because really, cool. What else can you really do to I feel like his one gear slot? I mean, what are we gonna do? Give him like a Superman chest thing? Nah. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they did give him like a Superman inspired recolor, but then NetherRealm are definitely afraid of references in recolors, so probably not.
He'll probably have some pretty lame. Well, he might have like the 7 or like characters in The Boys as like recolors.
That would. Could you imagine that if he's like the one DLC character you get? Because they all get 6, don't they? Color palettes.
I think.
So imagine if he was like imagine if he was the one who gets 7, or alternatively,
the 7.
He gets 6 and he doesn't get the deep because the deep is such a loser.
Oh dang!
I can see the A-Train. Well, the thing is,
alternatively, because I feel like he respects at this point A-Train less than the deep, so maybe A-Train's the one who's left off. It's like, I wouldn't be seen dead in your colours.
With that being said, though, I think A-Train
he makes some horribly racist remark. I won't be seen dead in your colours. Either the corporate approved ones.
Oh, the colours!
Or the insert slur to reference the recolor he comes up with in the show. He's so say that.
Oh my goodness.
They better give him. They're not going to, but imagine if they gave him a color palette that references A-Train to Africa. Just that horrific color scheme that he came up with.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because you were saying like the 7 color palettes, and I'm thinking, wait, there is one issue with that though. Do you remember? Maybe one character.
Oh yeah, one's invisible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
they can do all 6. Hooray! Let's go.
Literally, it's like, I don't know. Like his body just disappears. That's the color palette.
It's one of those where it's like, if Omni-Man can get a recolor based on Adam and Eve, I'm pretty sure that Homelander can get one based on Starlight, and I think it actually would probably look pretty good.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with yellow and gold.
White Homelander, not too shabby, maybe.
Sorry, white and gold. Dang it, I keep saying the wrong thing
all
the time.
And that's his racism color because it's white and gold, like white and blonde hair. Oh no, the white supremacists win again, I guess.
Listen, I don't care what you say, Snake. That will always be my go-to Halo color. Okay, it's always going to be gold and white. That was always my Hayabusa color scheme.
It's a cool color palette together. But yeah, well, looking forward to the Homelander trailer and looking forward to the Homelander memes. Ferra's back, and she's got a kind of a new updated design. And what do you guys think about Ferra as of right now?
Love it. I'm so excited. Yeah. But I have a soft spot for Ferra. I've said before in my videos, my best friend from college, who I'm still friends with, he's still an animator too, didn't give up like me. He loves Ferrator. So whenever I heard that Ferra was leaked, and him and I were just chatting, he's like, well, I know my boy's not coming back. And I'm like, they are, kind of. And he's like, really? How? I'm like, well, it's just Ferra right now. That's lame. He's like immediately sad. But still, I think Ferra is awesome, and I think it's cute that she hops on your back. I really hope that gimmick is not time-based, where like the cameo just slowly drains and she hops off. I hope she stays on indefinitely until your character's knocked down or something. That'd be so funny.
I'm guaranteed that's not going to be the case because...
Be awesome, though. Be awesome.
It would, but the thing is, it's like it seems like they're teasing two things that are kind of they're teasing a very weird thing for her ability, because like in the when Homelander and like Liu Kang did the clash in the intro, you see Ferra with like a net of Suhao heads, right? So whatever that is, at first I thought, oh, maybe they're just putting it there as like a standing point for her, but they later on Ed Boon posted a picture of her render, and she's still on those heads. So I feel like that's gonna come into some sort of like gameplay aspect about her.
Maybe, but I think you are overthinking it because the camera just doesn't go low enough to see her normally. I think is the issue. Yeah.
I have another theory about this then, because I've been thinking about this for months, and those Suhao heads in the net probably answer my question. Is like I think they're gonna use that because here's the thing: how is she gonna beat the shit out of Quan Chi in the arcade ending?
Oh.
They have to make her slightly taller, so unless if that's not a gameplay gimmick, how is she gonna do that?
Are you implying she's gonna roll on it like a barrel? Like she's gonna roll it with her
Maybe.
feet or something?
That's how she did it in the intro dial, remember? It's like she just moves back
she just
somehow.
Jumps off screen and brings it with her. Yeah, well, they all get sucked off.
What if the net is basically...
They all get sucked off screen. Sorry. Still sounds bad. It doesn't sound much better, but they all get pulled off screen during the... Before the
Careful
intro
now,
starts.
Ferra is having a controversy online.
So, what? Fuck.
Lost your thought.
What? Thanks a lot, dog. What if the net is there for the fatality, so that she basically like rips the head off and then like chucks it into the net, and it joins the rest of them?
Maybe. Only
cool,
for the fatality. Is that what you're saying?
Why brutality?
Yeah, maybe she could have a brutality somehow for that. I mean, who knows? I mean, occasionally you'll get a cameo that can have like Darius, where it's like, well, they're gonna do something alongside him. So what if it's like she grabs the opponent and then your character will grab the net and just throw it or something?
Oh.
I mean, it'd be pretty cute even for like the classic brutality, just the uppercut where their head comes off. If just for everyone, when you do that brutality, she just kind of like just like brings the bag into frame and just grabs the head and runs off.
Yeah.
That would be amazing
if
every decapitation fatality and brutality, she would have like a unique animation where she scurries along and grabs the head, and that's her gimmick now.
That sounds very
heads.
cute.
That'd be so
she'll
hard
run it like a
to
Smiling
animate.
Fred's background character.
I think one of the gameplay moves she's definitely gonna have.
When you juggle Tor around, she'd be there like running around.
Yeah, she'd be in the background.
So she can do that.
She might. Yeah, that might be the gimmick of her too. She like if you call her out, she'll be like getting ready. I'm gonna poke her or something like that.
I'm still kind of mad that like we saw a glimpse of her cameo fatality, and like every other cameo character, she's solo. I was really hoping they would reference the original MKX, where like you throw her through the opponent's body.
That one's very good.
Like grab me, and then like, you pull her back. Like I was kind of hoping to be like a group effort, but no, they didn't do that. Oh well.
Well,
that's
well, she does go get them from behind, doesn't she? So it's still possible she could call her teammate forward, and that's why Ed's like, oh, what we're going to show something cool. Here's a little tease, but we're not going to show you what happens next, because if it's just a cameo fatality, who cares? But if that's what she's doing, that's a reason to hide it. So maybe she does call them over, and then they pull her through. Because that'd be something worth making a big deal out of, I suppose, like this unique interaction in a fatality.
Yeah.
Keep your hopes down, but that does sound cool.
Yeah. I mean,
to me,
the other like big hope most people have, I think, would be that either Tor will just walk in just for that,
yeah.
Or alternatively, as Dog is thinking, what if it's like the MKX ending, like the reference to that, and she'll just like Hulk out.
Ferra will Hulk out.
And then tear him in half. Just for one brutality, I'll be happy. Even for just one brutality, she goes, and like gets all big, goes, and like kills the person.
Unfortunately, it would not be for one brutality, because that would require a whole model just for that, and they're not going to do that.
I think that's too much effort too. Yeah,
I think Ermac has like 7 character models.
Well, the thing is, they use all those character models constantly through his moves. They're not gonna just use one model. Like you're not gonna see that for Shang Tsung Kintaro fatality again. I don't think they're gonna do that much effort.
They're all just for one move. Like the giant ram guy only shows up for one move.
Giant ram guy shows up for one move. Enhanced version, a taunt victory.
There's no enhanced version of that.
Can't you enhance the ram?
No.
Oh, I thought he has like another version of that move.
Well, he does, but he doesn't change the animation for him. It's just Ermac does a little blast after, but the big guy doesn't do anything different.
Okay, but he also shows up for a taunt animation, and then there's also like the groupie where the 3 of them show up too. So like they all are used multiple times.
My
for
point
the models.
is, if they could do like 5 extra for Ermac, we might get 1 extra character model for Ferra. It'd be fine.
Dog. You literally just explain why it won't happen. The difference between making extra models for Ermac versus for Ferra.
Oh, a cameo character.
And the issue is, dog. Also,
I'm just talking about the fact that Ferra is a nobody that few people remember from MKX, whereas Ermac is like one of the big dogs. So you know.
yeah.
When
I'm trying
Ferra
my
said
best
the
to
iconic
promote
line,
Ferra. You're gonna see as much promotion for Ferra before June.
It's like saying, oh, they made all these extra models for like Katana or Rain. Like I'm sure they would do that for Collector. Like, come on, be real.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna quote Maximilian dude here. You can talk all that smack you want, but who made it in? Ferra. So she means enough to the developers that she made it in above a lot of other possible people. Okay, so they care enough to put her in. They may care enough to give her
Here's
something.
what's really going
cameo.
on. What's actually happened is that in the,
Well, she could be a full character.
in the expansion or in Combat Pack 2 after that, we're going to get Tor on the base roster. And then they're going to be like an iconic duo yet again. But you have the
Makes
choice to
sense,
not
right?
do that.
Makes sense.
And listen, I hate to be a huge super nerd, but as a person who knows lore of the games,
No, you don't.
it's just a segue. But yeah,
Go ahead.
Ferra fighting by herself is a massive impossibility because without Tor, she literally dies.
Well,
unless she reaches puberty, then she'll change. But otherwise, like she literally dies without Tor, and vice versa. But
that's why she's a cameo fighter.
Yeah,
and that's why you, the character, are Tor now.
Well,
that's why.
There's several things. One is that, like Sonic said, it's just a cameo. Additionally, it's classic version of her, not like a new timeline reimagining. So the lore could just be different in this timeline. Like Luke, I'm gonna just say, you know what? I don't like that symbiotic requirement. Let's just take that away. Ferra can live on her own. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think collects flies.
And isn't she a bit bigger?
Maybe, but I do think Ferra, at least this version, very possibly could be this universe version of Ferra, and maybe she'll show up in the expansion. I highly think that's gonna happen. It feels like.
Because if she is a bit bigger, then that could suggest that this is after Tor dies, when she's like going off on her own and like she's starting to transform. She's getting a bit bigger now. It's like early days after Tor dies.
I think Liu Kang just wrote Tor out of the history. But that's a cute theory.
Tor has a happy life somewhere else.
He's
doing something on his own. He's like doing crafts and ceramics.
He's an independent man.
Liu Kang did not.
Working a 10 to 5 hour job.
He didn't write Ferra or Tor out of anything. He just forgot they existed because most people did. I mean, in fairness, he never met them. So,
I mean, Snake's not wrong about all this, but I can't comprehend people not loving Ferra Tor because I just love them so much. So in my brain, it like makes no sense that they're not fan favorites.
I mean, there is like a top 10 like worst or top 5 worst character. Ferra Tor was like number 3 from some YouTuber that we know we won't talk about.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Dang, I love Ferra Tor.
Hey,
I will say that.
I love Ferra Tor. They're the
fair
star
enough.
of my poker skits. They are the
fair
stars.
enough.
Fair enough. That's funny.
Fair enough. Also, I wanted to add this little thing because Dog thinks Ferra will transform into like the big Hulkify Ferra. This is the chances of that happening, and then this is the chance of Tor being in there. So I think they have to surpass. Hulk's Ferra has to surpass Tor being referenced in a brutality or a fatality for that to be possible.
I would say that honestly, it is more likely Tor would show up because that's just the default state of Ferra as a character, that she's with Tor, whereas the Ferra becoming the new Tor thing was just in her arcade ending. And like the cameos, I mean, part of the reason why the cameos are the classic versions is because you're trying to appeal to the normies, the basic people who aren't as familiar with all the intricacies of the lore and these small details that I don't think even there are even any intros that reference that detail. So if they're going to do anything, it's going to be here's the normie choice, Tor's going to show up, as opposed to buff Ferra. I mean, it'd be great if they did both, but if only one's going to happen, it's going to be Tor. But even then, I'm hesitant to say Tor would be anything substantial like on the roster, just because he's got such a unique body type. And as we've seen over the course of the NetherRealm series, the body types have gotten a lot more homogenous. Like even Geras, like he used to be like the big buff guy with Khan and Kotal, and now he's just like he's still buff, but he's like clearly slimmed down quite a lot. And then and General Shao, I mean, I think his Shao Kahn costume gives him like properly proportioned like calves, but in the actual base model. Bigger. But the actual base model, he's got very, very thin calves. He's just weirdly proportioned, but he's still like close to everyone else. So I don't think Tor's going to come back in any substantial way.
And even us talking about it, honestly, Tor on his own is probably more forgettable, because we say Ferra Tor, and we think about Ferra's voice a lot more, despite the fact that Tor is probably 80% of the playstyle. But people think of Ferra more also. If we just say, here is our new character reveal, Tor, I think people might dislike that more than like friggin' Drummond or Moloch, you know?
I like how you pretend that people wouldn't get really hype to see Drummond and Moloch.
That's why I say they're higher than Tor. That's what I mean. Yeah.
I'm just grateful Ferra made it in at all. Honestly, I'm just really grateful.
What if they replace the Ferrator gimmick with Moloch and Drummond? It's just Drummond riding on Moloch's back.
Hey, Moloch is a gorilla type character, you know, like
work.
that kind of like way of moving. That could be a Tor skin. That could be a Tor skin, honestly.
A premier skin that turns Ferrator into Moloch Drummond.
A Ferrator skin where like
Moloch.
Tor is Moloch and Ferra wears the Drummond mask. That's so good. Oh my god.
Good idea,
Wait, that sounds like
That's a waste of potential. And because Drummond has that dumb move where he just spins the club like a windmill, I can imagine Moloch just holding him out and him just going, just doing that. He just walks forward at you,
slamming them like the like how in the King Kong movie slammed the little monkey.
I'm gonna spin my arm. If you walk into this, that's your problem.
Yeah, I remember that. If you walk into this, it's your problem. So funny you mentioned like his size and all that, because even back in MKX, I noticed that Tor is bigger than Goro. He just hunches over, but the man is bigger than Goro. Like mass-wise.
Tor is very big.
Tor's huge.
Yes. He has to hunch around and stuff. Yeah.
Gorilla man.
I have his model, so it's like he's about like 3 or 4 pharaohs tall, basically. He's very big.
And Ferra herself is taller now too. I'm looking forward to her alts now, like her cameo colors, because if they just like change the face paint and like the red to like blue, it'll still be a fun color.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because I feel. Oh, sorry, you good.
That was it. I was just saying that like if they change like her face paint and then whatever the accent color, because right now she's like just brown and mostly red, right?
Yeah.
But if they change it to like blue mostly, like where the red is, that'd be kind of cool. And then like green for the next one. Like even that subtle change would be kind of fun. But
if they're cool, which they're not, so they won't do this. Her last color would be Osh-Tech body paint. That's not going to be the case, but it would be really good if they did that.
Would be quite cool. Fitting Ferra with like Kotal, like, yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Ferra, you are honorary Osh-Tech, and she immediately leaves him and the other Osh-Tech to go off and do her own thing in MK11. And he's like, "Where are my honorary Osh-Tech? Ermac Reptile, where did you go?"
Losing money in poker. I was gonna say, unfortunately, I don't think, because Ferra's color scheme has a lot of like accessories and armor pieces, so I don't think you can change metal colors and stuff. So I'm trying to think, would her palettes change like a lot to make like a difference, like freshly red or freshly blue for the brown parts or stuff like that? I'm trying to think, and I can't think of too much like that stands out for her palettes and stuff.
But that's why I'm saying just change the parts that are red. Like her red leggings, her red face paint, her little red straps that she has. Just make those all blue, and it's still like a pretty different character.
She's got like there's leather and fur, and she's got a lot of like red. I mean, blood from a screenshot. I think it's like red body paint. There are a few things you can change. Yeah.
Other than Quan Chi, has there ever been a character with like face paint that got changed in this game?
In this game?
Yeah. I don't think you can change Reiko's like black or. Because I'm trying to think if they'll do that for Ferra.
That's just his skin. It's not paint for Reiko. It's just his skin.
Wait.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Like, okay.
Really digging Ferra's design. It's so cool.
Yeah, I actually think
looks so
because
cool.
most of the time, you know what's really funny about Ferra's current design? It's like most of the
Monster
time we're
Hunter.
like, oh my gosh, why did they add these useless belts onto this character? Why are they doing this useless like open toe designs and stuff like that? And Ferra's like, wow, they actually gave her more like, what do they call that? Like the fur.
The fur coat and
The
like
fur
the
coat.
leather. She's
Yeah,
very
and it
medieval.
makes
looking.
her look better.
Very
It
barbarian.
actually makes her cooler like this. So I'm liking this new like design.
I might be misremembering. This could be a total. What's that term called when you misremember something? Mandela. This could be a
Yeah.
Mandela effect. So let me like Google this.
You mean
I
like
hate
how
when
she looked
Google-
in MKX or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I misremembered this or not. I could be adding.
Oh,
things
if you have
that
any
weren't
issues
there.
with Ferra's, if you have any questions about Ferra's design in MKX, I could help you out immediately.
It looks like I'm right. So she used to have feathers on her head, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
They seem to have gotten rid of those, and I'm like, huh. But you don't need them. But I'm kind
No,
of like,
no,
why think
this,
it was there?
they're still there.
That's just her hair, I think. She has white hair.
No,
I mean,
those look very much like feathers.
let me see the tweet here. I want to go back and see.
I think it's just her hair being white. And
Uh,
then
but
she
po-
has
posted it in the chat.
and then she has spikes on her back, obviously, because she's always had spikes on her back.
Yeah.
Because she's supposed to be like a mini cutlery set. Was always
Oh
the
no,
joke. She's just covered
actually,
in knives.
if you look at it from this angle, you can. She doesn't have feathers like on her head.
well, she has something though, so that's fine. Yeah, she has something back there. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, like that angle. Yeah. Wait.
And the one I was looking at, she didn't seem to have any. Oh, is that
I'm
gonna be
seeing
her
the
gear
one where
piece?
she's riding on scorpions. She doesn't have anything.
No, she's cameo.
We found her
Cameos don't
gear
have-
piece, guys. We
Cameos
found her
don't have
gear piece
gear.
without meaning to.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead,
Kameo
sorry.
Fighters gear piece.
We found it.
In fairness, like
Yeah, that's what I
she
saw.
doesn't,
That's what I
she doesn't
saw.
seem to have it, so it could be that. I doubt it, but it could be that they are changing up a headgear or something in place of alternate
Early
colours.
footage. Pretty sure it's early footage. I think that's the case. I think she
Probably,
will have a
yeah.
bit like some feathers back here, which looks a little bit cooler.
I'm going to make an 8-minute video on just the fact that she does not have the head feathers in that one screenshot, and also the one they did recently where she's in the camera mode. She doesn't have them there either. She just has the blank white head. Just
Did
the
she
white
have
hair.
spikes on her back?
Yeah.
Oh.
She always had spikes on her back because Tor has a move where he tosses her and she like flips like a saw blade, goes ay 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 ay, and it's because like she has the saws on her back.
I see. Yeah, I like her with the feathers on the back of her hair.
Little Borderlands girl.
I'm looking forward to the mods that turn her into Wolverine or X-23. X-23
That'd be
be
cool.
X-23 would be especially funny because Ferra, whether it's new voice lines or recycled ones, it's still Tara Strong's voice here. And she played
Oh.
X-23 in Wolverine and the X-Men and Marvel
Her
vs. Capcom
screams
3.
are still like.
So
Are they like reused or do you think they're new?
I literally just said I don't know.
Oh, okay.
They're probably reused, just if I had to guess, because you would not hire someone back on just to do grunts. I feel like.
That's assuming that she's not going to be playing another role. I mean, do we have a voice confirmed for example, Harumi, who we know is coming? She could be taking on that role.
But yeah, like I said, like she doesn't have the spikes here.
I know that Tara Strong can do way more than one character and has range, but because you said that, I'm just picturing Harumi having the same voice and cadence as Harley Quinn.
Harley
Like,
Quinn.
oh, I'm glad you're back, Smoke. You too, Mr. S. And she
Mr. S.
Oh, God.
I'm glad you're back, Mr. S. So lame.
we do know, unfortunately, that she would sound exactly like her take on Lee May in MKX. So
Why'd you post this random picture of? Oh, because she doesn't have the feathers during
Yeah,
her
she doesn't have the
fatality?
spikes. What I mean, the spikes. This is the story mode.
Oh,
You said she has spikes on her back.
I think it was just
Well, in
might
the
be affected
concept
by
art
the
she did.
variations.
A variation, then. That's probably it. Yeah. Because
So
yeah.
I'll show you a picture. So like maybe they're just trying to bring back. Well, they're probably just trying to maybe technology-wise they could make some of her ideas work, and now in MK1 they can. Because in the concept art for X, she definitely had a bunch of spikes on her back.
Yeah. The concept art
'Cause-
here.
Because she's meant to be like a little armory.
Are you thinking of the vicious variation? Because from what I can tell, there is some
Oh,
difference in the design.
It does change. It does change.
There you go. Yeah.
Suck my balls, Sonic.
Well, there you go. Then that's the answer. Jeez. That she doesn't have it, and she does have it. Don't suck my balls. Jeez. Suck your own.
So I do want to say one thing gameplay-wise that I think she might have, because like I've kept holding on to it, and like we keep getting on these weird-ass fucking tangents, but which everyone loves apparently. So good for us. But
Thank you guys.
I think because she rides on your back, I really hope they bring her Pain and Gain gimmick back, because that was so cool. If y'all didn't play Tor, that's okay, but that variation made it to where she has a move where she stabs you literally in the back, and Tor gets a damage buff, and you can do it up to 3 times for like a big damage buff. So already that's cool. The idea that you can stab your main character, take a tiny bit of damage, but you get a damage buff, sounds awesome. But also, that move allowed you to cancel your existing animation. So imagine you go for, like, for example, General Shao's overhead, and then she sticks you in the back so you recover faster and you can combo after it, just like Motaro's teleport lets you do. That'd be so sick. That'd be really cool. I'm thinking of the possibilities.
That's why they won't do it.
Ferra stabs your back. Like, I'm going to stab your back. Ferra stabs your back. Instantly, Mavado jumps in, kicks that person. That would be cool. I like that idea, like stabbing the back. Then we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what they do with Ferra. Again, we don't have any footage of Ferra. I'm sure in about a week from now, gameplay trailer will be out, and then the combat cast. And honestly, I'm a little bit looking more forward to Ferra than Homelander at this point, gameplay-wise. So, well, we shall see how they turn out.
I'm going to force myself on that couch. I'm going to be on the combat couch when they play Ferra. I'm gonna be there.
With that being said, by the way, since we got that new render of Ferra, in that comment section, Ed Boom made an entire thread of questions and polls that NRS is curious to wonder. Asking the fans about all sorts of opinions. They're not 100% guaranteed to happen, but they're still like kind of cool things to like check out and like ask opinion. And the thing is, we get to see the polls, so we get to see what everybody has been picking in terms of like the that's a cute fan art. What we could be getting in the future. So we thought it was a very surprise thing because it just came out yesterday. So we can talk about what happens in the polls like right now as like a bit of a fun thing, and also ask each of the kings here what we picked in the polls. What controversial picks did we do and stuff?
Well, I'm just a bit sad that right away Ed Boon said, by the way, guys, I know it's a moot point, but this does not mean any promises. This does not hint at anything.
He has to say that.
But he didn't used to do that. He just let it be up in the air so you could have fun just being like, oh my gosh, guys, does this mean blank?
Well,
He's
you can still be that.
You
can still be that.
Cut me off at the ankles.
Oh, sorry.
Ed Boon,
to be fair, I don't think he wants to create the next incarnation of the Melina stands with like, you promised this, you said we'd get it, and we never got it. I will murder your family, stuff like that. We don't want another of those, so he's probably just playing it safe, like, guys, look, be real. It might not happen. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just curious.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I love this art so much. I must post it in the chat. This Ferrator fan art is just too good. A lot of the Ferrator fan art, it's all good in its own way, but it looks very like amateur. This one actually seems like a real cartoonist did this, and I just love it.
Oh, it's so cute. Yeah. Ferrator doesn't get enough love. It's always glad to see some love for them.
I love it.
But yes, the first question in the poll that Ed Boon asked was, what other Mortal Kombat movie skins would you want to see in MK1? And he purposely did not put the 90...
I was like to say, did we ever talk about the movie skin? The Scorpion one?
Oh, I guess we didn't. Yeah, but we could sort of talk about that.
Right.
So basically, a couple of weeks ago, so it was after the last time we recorded, Ed Boon posted a screenshot. I mean, there were mods of this already, so it wasn't clear if he was just saying this is a cool mod or if he was saying this is real. But there are differences people notice, so this is real. Scorpion's costume from the '95 movie is coming to the game. And I made a chart about tracking all the DLC costumes and how the Scorpion Sub-Zero favoritism is very clear. They have way more costumes than anyone else. And now Scorpion's getting his '95 costume, which means that Sub-Zero and Reptile are going to get theirs.
Most likely, yeah.
Well, definitely, because it's a model they can repurpose. That's why the ninja costumes always come back. Which basically means, that's cool. We get to have the ribcage mask, which Dog noticed must have inspired the MK9 and DCU mask, which I didn't even notice before, which, very cool.
Very cool.
Sub-Zero's going to get his mask. Reptile's going to get the best mask he ever had. So that's very cool, very swag. I'm sure Sonic will have that on every costume.
And that was what I was saying. I'm just gonna have that mask forever for every single Reptile costume. Doesn't matter. He's just gonna have that mask. I don't even care about the skin. I just want that mask.
I worry about what the colours will be, because it's probably just going to be some lame trash. But the rendition so far looks very good. Some people complain that it's not got Chris Casamassa's face on it, and it's like, why would you ever think that was ever going to be a possibility? Of course, it's not going to happen. I mean, what would be the point of having his face but not the voice? I say after we just talked about Homelander, but there's a difference between Scorpion and like Raiden or Johnny Cage, where those were the actors playing the characters, whereas this is basically Chris Casamassa as the body performer for Scorpion. Scorpion didn't have a character. Exactly. The only spoken thing he said were, get over here, come here, welcome, get down here. And then in the sequel, he said sucker. That's all he says. Yes. So, there's not really a character to him outside of Conquest, of all places. So it was never going to happen. And it's not a big loss if we don't get his voice or face attached to it, you know.
The original had him pretty much covered up too, so
it's not a dig at Chris Casamassa or anything. He did the job he was like hired for. He did it very well. It's just you don't associate the character with him the way you do with Lambert as Raiden or Ashby as Johnny Cage or the others.
Ludi.
So you can kind of get away with not doing that. And of course, this also means, like I said, we're going to get the 3 costumes from the film. It'd be neat if they did equivalents for Ermac and Rain. Though I'm sure for that they'll just do Annihilation costumes or something.
If we get Annihilation costumes,
But it would be neat if they just did, here's the movie 1 costumes, and we reached out to the original costume designer and had them design masks for the characters. That would be very sick. It's not going to happen, but I think it looks really good. I'm looking forward to having yet another Scorpion costume. I mean, finally, a Scorpion retro costume that isn't balked in some way. Because for some reason, the playable version just has to be either look like that Sub-Zero figure over there, or he has to be like the weird, like, burned face.
Yeah. It's
so
very
strange.
Recreating the 95 costumes,
And I appreciate that, because I even get mad when like a little tiny thing is changed with the costume. I'll be like, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Why did you change that for no reason? And it's not just NetherRealm. Capcom does this too with the Street Fighter characters, and it still bothers me. Like, we brought back Juri's nostalgia costume. What the fuck is that jacket? She never wore a jacket. And it's like, why are you doing this? We brought back Classic Ibuki. Why is she wearing a scarf? What the fuck? But sorry, go ahead.
I know we're going backwards in conversations here, because we went from here's the poll, but now the 95 costume. I'm gonna go back to the Ferra discussion now, just for a bit now, because I wanted to talk about, because see, you guys are very mad about that. So why are we okay with Ferra being changed so much?
Because she's meant to be new. It's a new outfit. But if you're giving me the 95 outfit and you mess something up, it's annoying. Like, don't lie to me about what it is.
Isn't that the MKX Ferra? Shouldn't she look just like how she did in that game? Like, but why
Where
change
is
up her
stated
outfit?
she's the MKX Ferra?
Well, I guarantee her costume will be listed as Mortal Kombat X. I guarantee that they will put that. I mean, I think they even put Special Forces for Tremor, even though it's clearly not the costume from that. So
really? That's what they say.
they will do that. But I think part of it is also a bias, because like I don't give a shit about Ferra, to be honest. So if they change it really doesn't affect me in any way. Whereas when they change stuff from my beloved 3D era or the arcade era or the 95 movie, I'm like
you know, it's an interesting. You go, dog.
Sorry, I got put the finger up because I wanted to mention this earlier, but I forgot because we got talking about something. I was gonna politely tease the Trimmer fans, because like there's a huge amount of Trimmer fans. It turns out whenever I do a poll on my channel, like Trimmer wins most of the polls that I do, so he's very popular. Trimmer. But it's like, damn, Trimmer didn't even get his new costume sucks because it's just clearly Scorpion. They cut corners with that and just gave him a different rock texture on his body. But with Ferra, they're like, no, Queen. Brand new redesign, like it's gonna reference the old outfit, but also some new stuff. Like Queen, we're gonna give you a giant mound of heads to stand on. Queen, like just keep giving her stuff. And then here's Trimmer, where like it was clearly like, shit, we forgot to finish Trimmer. Scorpion, make him brown, give him some rock textures, make his eyes glow orange for some weird reason.
Are you telling me You tell me the 5 cameos are an all-new female version of Johnny Cage, Chameleon, who got all this attention, so much love put into her, cool mechanics and all this stuff, and then Ferra, Queen, and then we get Ray William Johnson, Mavado, and Lazy Scott. Are you telling me there's a bias towards the women? Dog.
Hey now, Mavado's hot, so it's only Tremor who got the low-hanging fruit here.
Mavado is an interesting kind of attractive. Since you brought it up, like from some angles he is like model-esque, like dang, take a photo of that guy. But then like straight on, he looks kind of weird. like
that render does not help him out. Yeah, that render.
Even in my thumbnail, like my thumbnail too, I had to use like his face straight on, and that's like the in-game him, just like a screenshot. And like he don't look very flattering from a straight on. He's got to turn his face. It kind of reminds me of Colleen in Street Fighter V, where Colleen can look really hot if her head's turned the right way. But when you look at her straight on, she is not a pretty looking woman. It's like, dang, it's that whole model joke. Like, no, this is my good side. That's how Mavado is. Like, no, get my good angle.
It's like instead of scanning the face model, they built the model by hand based on reference photos, and they're all from the side, but then there's nothing from the front, and so they just kind of guess what he look like, and it's like, that's not quite right, but it's the best we can do because we don't have any front-facing shots.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up the Ferra thing because it was kind of interesting, because I agree with you, Dog, if it turns out this Ferra is a new Ferra. In fact, that's why I think this is a new continuity Ferra. But if this is supposed to be MKX Ferra, then it's like, should we be mad that they changed the design? Should we be mad that it's not a callback, since they love They say Kameo Fighters are a complete and utter callback to the classic days. We're gonna put all the love as much as possible to the classic designs. But then it's like, Tremor, just take the MK, the MK2 design.
Well, Chameleon's also not. I mean, she kind of looks like her Armageddon.
Not completely,
I guess,
yeah.
But yeah, Chameleon, and then her moves are all wrong because she never had katanas. Well, no, she did in the really old game. You're right. In MK3, she did. Yeah. She stole all their moves.
Chameleon is in the story mode, so she kind of has like she's in the Umgadi, so there's a bit of that leeway to it and stuff like that. I'm willing to give a little leeway if you're in the story mode for Motaro and Goro and like some of the other characters. But yeah,
Goro.
So it's like so yeah, that's what I was just gonna bring up.
And just to say, we won't be able to work out which version of Ferra this is supposed to be based on the costume name, because the new timeline open-toed shoe Serena is referred to as Mythologies, and Darius is referred to as Deception, even though the design has changed a bit. So that doesn't help. That's really just what they're supposed to be based on.
Inspiration.
But even if it is a new, the only cameos that actually say new era are like Goro, and I think like one or two others. I mean, but what they're going to call? They can't say that. This is MK1. Well, because they can't say this is MK4 Goro or Deception, because it's clearly not. It's a whole unique thing. I mean, okay, I say that, but they did do that with Tremor, so I guess they could say that. And a lot of people just say, yeah, checks out. Even though he looks more like he just raided the wardrobe of the Injustice 2 Ninja Turtles with all the pants and the sandals.
Yeah. I think the idea is that if they show up in story mode, they're probably a new era version of the character, because they're in story mode. But the ones who don't can be classics, like classic Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Kung Lao. Kung Lao is still dumb to me. I love Kung Lao as a character, but I mean, like, his functions are good too. But I feel like as a cameo, you could have put someone else and just give him the same moveset. But like, Kung Lao should not be in the game twice. I'm sorry, he's just not iconic enough, in my opinion, to be in the game twice.
I mean, it should be great, Kung Lao, to be honest.
Yeah,
that would have been dope. I'm still mad. I'm still mad about that bait and switch. They do it every time.
Absolutely.
Every time.
Yeah.
I'm not mad because I never believed they were going to follow up on it.
Do you know what's going to happen, guys?
I'm too cynical to be fooled.
Yeah. Do you know what's going to happen, guys? You know what's going to happen at the very start of the Aftermath story expansion? Old Liu Kang's going to walk in like, whoa, with his nunchucks, and then God Liu Kang's going to go, by the Elder Gods, and just fade away. Just undo all,
We're going to do this
that
again.
Development.
Do this again here.
Undo all that. I waited for literal eons just chilling and making the universe, only to be turned to dust when the old me came back.
All right. Okay, so out of all these, like, what would you call these, like, tangents within tangents. Let's go back to the poll. Let's go back to see the interesting poll at Boon Poll. I do think these are fun questions, though, even if they're not 100% confirmation. And I think it's a good thing that the team sees like this information. Though, now that I think about it, maybe this poll should be posted on more social medias and stuff, because it's like I don't think Twitter would be the biggest place to gain like all the information. But details, diddly-do. The first poll we have is what other Mortal Kombat movie skins would you most want to see in MK1? And Ed specifically did not put the 95 movie in here because obviously we're going to get 95 movies in this game already, and they've already added 95 movie skins in the last game. So there's Annihilation, Scorpion's Revenge, the 2021 movie, and the upcoming MK2 movie. So what did you guys vote, and what did you guys think about like these choices basically?
I'm one of the few Giga Chads that voted for Annihilation because I am a man of culture. It's not a good movie unless you just love cheese and like a good laugh, but I want to see those horrible costumes come back, and the only way we're going to get it is in this game because they're already in the mood to adapt old movie costumes, so they're going to do that, then bring it back. Let's go. Now, that being said, the only weird part is that, like Snake pointed out and Sonic also, unless they bring back the voice actors too, or the actors, I should say, to do the voice, they're probably not going to change the entire body of the character, like their face and stuff. They might, but I'm not sure if they will. So, for example, if we get 1995 Kitana, for example, I'm thinking she'll still have the same face and body, but just the outfit will change. Because we've seen it happen with Raiden already. They brought back Dark Raiden, but just the armor. So I'm like wondering if...
Don't tempt Kitana fans with a costume where her face is exposed the whole time. That's not just the festival one. They will go rabid, dog. You have to be careful with the things you say.
Then there's me with a huge bias towards masks. I just want more outfits where her hair is down.
I see.
Or where the hair changes in general. Like, one of the reasons I want the... I have a video coming out in the future about the retro costumes. Because one other YouTuber who's not very big, but I'm going to give him a shout out, and he agreed, oh yeah, it's a cool video idea. He predicted pretty accurately like which characters are getting skins next based on previous stuff, and it's a pretty solid theory. So I was like, well, if that means the top left section is getting costumes pretty soon, then I think Deadly Alliance Katana would be cool. If for no other reason that I want that ridiculously long ponytail with the individual sections, I want that to come back. It was also an MK9.
Do you remember where that ponytail originated? In the old movies.
Oh, cool. It did?
Oh,
yeah. Remember, that's what she has.
I think you're right. Ponytail. Yeah, it just looks more ridiculous in the Deadly Alliance.
There could be two costumes that feature that hairstyle.
Yes, it'd be easy. I mean, hey, NetherRealm, want to save money? There you go. You can reuse the hair asset. Do it.
What about you, Snake? Which one did you vote for? Or did you vote for this?
I don't follow Ed Boon on Twitter, so...
Do you want to vote for this? Like right now?
What I would personally want is, obviously they should do a 2021 costume pack, just because that's just good brand synergy. But my ideal one would probably be at this point, since we're getting these ones from the 95 movie. I would want to see a Legends pack that has Johnny, Kenshi, Liu Kang, and Scorpion.
Hell yeah. My answer is a bit similar to you, Snake, because the thing is, all four of these are great. I actually want all four of them, and I'm very happy. If you look at the polls, they're almost aligned. They're like almost all have above 20%. So every single one of them do have like a bit of love. I voted for Scorpion's Revenge. My heart is Annihilation, but just because I know Scorpion's Revenge was not going to get a lot of votes, so I voted for that. Because I just wanted to give that bit more. And exactly like you, Snake, I was thinking not just Scorpion's Revenge. I was thinking about the Legend series and all the movies that they could take, and also like Battle of Realms Li Mei. That's quite an original design there. We could totally use that. I think that would be pretty cool.
Wasn't Battle of the Realms Li Mei the Deception one?
It's a combination. It's like a new design. It is more like the armor. But it's not. It's a kind of a new design for her.
So what you're saying is, it's closer to the Deception look than the one we actually have in the game.
Maybe.
Well, it's the armored alt. It's the armored one from Deception, like which has the helmet and shoulder pauldrons and all that. But they made it more sexy. Like she's showing more skin than in the game. So in the film, it was more sexy.
Yeah, the funny thing about the Legends movies is a lot of them, the first two movies are very referencing to like existing costumes anyways. So like, you know, I like the reptile costume, but it's basically MKX reptile. But like, I still would like to see some references to the series Legends, and also like, despite not liking the 2021 movie, I still would like those costumes in the game too, and it'd be very smart for promotional reasonings too. With all this being said, there is a gigantic issue here. Every one of these choices, except for maybe the last one, also have a huge bias towards Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Yeah. Every single one of these.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're the figureheads. Like, they are what the series is known for, which is very, very funny with Scorpion especially, because he's never been... Not only has he never been, like, the main character, but he's also, like, very rarely even been, like, a huge component of the story. Like, he kind of just shows up.
they made a spin-off game about Sub-Zero.
Yes.
Where you kill Scorpion in the first level, or rather, you can. If you don't kill him, he doesn't appear again later in the game. He just disappears from the story entirely while they focus on these other guys. So back then, Scorpion did not matter. He just didn't. It's really funny. Villain.
It's so funny they actually added that touch because it shows they wanted to make the choice matter, but they could have also still had him come back for canon reasons, because then you wouldn't know what actually happened, right? He could have been like, they executed me for my failure, so it's still your fault that I died because, like, they executed me for failing the mission or whatever. Also, I'm pretty sure that Scorpion begs for his life, which is cringe, but they did that a lot back then. Like, even in the 3D era games, like, they go like, no, please, and then die or whatever, and that happens in the game, I think, too.
It's a fatality.
But yeah, you gave me one more reason to hate the Battle of the Realms movie, because I remember that Lee May throws freaking kunais and kicks them at katana. Ah, yes, Lee May, famous for kunais and cutlery. Literally never. Oh, well. Anyway.
But yeah, overall, I'm happy. This question is probably the most interesting. Well, there's another one that's also interesting, but like this one's like the big one. And I'm happy they're all getting love. And the conclusion I want to get out of this is just more classic, non-gaming, like Mortal Kombat game series costumes, you know. I bring back Defenders of the Realm costumes too. There's a couple of winners there too.
Because they're based on MK3.
Yep.
Like Katana.
Katana's is original for some reason.
Katana's based on the movie.
It is,
a bit. But like, it's just funny because like the impression I got was that they didn't give her the MK3 one because it's too sexy, because then it's a kids' cartoon. But like they still gave her the boob window. They just removed the cleavage. Like, they did it with She. It's really funny with Shiva because she's still got like that outfit, but like there's no cleavage. It's just flat color. It's so funny.
I was about to mention. I was like, I don't think that was an issue because Shiva exists. And they straight up just have that costume for her. And I'm like, wow, they really dared this in the 90s.
90s were freaking cool, man.
So the next one is a simple question. It's basically, when did you start playing Mortal Kombat? The arcade era, the 3D eras, or from the MK9 era, basically. So just kind of skip that. I know you two are the 3D era. Well, I know Snake was. Dog, you two were the 3D era.
I'm pretty much the 3D era. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, the games came out when I was born. Like, before even one of them. So, like, yeah. And also, I played the classic games a little bit at the arcades, but I was never very good at it. And I was always a very sore loser because my dad made me into, like, an athlete very early. So video games made me angry when I lost at them because I would win in sports, and then I'd play a video game and I'd lose, be like, screw this. And one time the AI fatality'd me. It uppercutted me into the acid pit, and I was done. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm even more angry than I was already at losing. But then in the 3D era, I was like, oh, it's fucking fun as shit. Like, Daily Alliance was crazy fun. I didn't like how, as a kid, I didn't like how dark the tone got. I was sad to see Liu Kang die at the very start. It, like, actually traumatized me a bit, but I got over it.
Because it wasn't like a big fire snake or something. It just gets his neck broken. It's so much more real that way.
And they build up to it too. Like, they do it kind of like slow. You think he's gonna like escape or something, but then like he still dies. You're like, oh.
And then I think goes quite. The music cuts out. Liu Kang is dead. Well, he hits the floor, then the blood starts to pour down from his neck, and it's like very well done. It's like it really is like a really solid tone setter, if nothing else.
I will say, who did it better in that regard, Tekken or MK? It was way scarier to hear Liu Kang is dead than Heihachi is dead. I'm just saying. Way ballsier.
Because it's like you never believe with Heihachi because he just because
he's still in the roster. It's not like Liu Kang is not in the roster.
He'll be back. Except according to Harada, he is dead, but that doesn't mean he won't come back as a freaking zombie or a cyborg or something.
I'm sure we'll have a sequence in the next game where Reina or Jin is like unconscious and we fight like Nightmare Heihachi, like Nightmare Geese.
Yeah, that's a smart way to do it. Yes. So the next question is, this is the other one that I thought was like more interesting, which is which of these like guest fighters in previous Mortal Kombat games would you want to see in MK1? So I'm very interested that Ed is asking this, and it's basically MK9, MKX, and MK11. And here's where people saw the mistake because he wrote MK9 Plus, and in there puts Texas Chainsaw Man in there, and people were like, like, huh?
Yeah. That's why I had to put the plus there.
Surprisingly, the votes when they started off, the polls, it was MK9 winning by a landslide. That's what they say, right? Landslide. But now it's like MKX is winning by 50%. 50% MKX, 41% like MK9. So I'm glad y'all have taste.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
As a joke, I would guess that is because people didn't read it at first and they thought it was just talk about the game or which game do you want to see remastered, and then they're like, oh, MK9, and then people later on were like, no, it's talking about the guess. Alien and Predator clear it for sure.
Objection! They can't take back their votes on Twitter.
I know. I'm just saying that the early people are dumb, and the later ones are like, no, I see.
I mean,
this is the ones who fell into the trap.
Don't forget, guys, this is the same group that were told, hey, just don't like or retweet this for the next like couple minutes, and I'll give you a new screenshot. And then there's tons of likes and retweets because they didn't read it at all. They just went in.
They just want to speed run it. Try the best to go as fast as possible.
Speed run disappointment.
But yeah, like to me, I pick MKX2 just because Alien and Predator are just like super awesome like guest characters to pick. Freddy is wait, Freddy? Freddy? No. Jason.
No,
Jason is. Jason was a pretty cool when he first showed up too. Just like this menacing man that can't die. An aspect I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Don't remember much about Texas, but yeah.
Honestly, I feel like if I was to pick one guest to bring back, I think it would be Freddy, to be honest. Just because when they introduced him, it was before they had the pre-fight intros. So, and of the iconic slashers, you got him, you got Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface. He's the one who talks. That was his thing. He's the one who quips and like insults and belittles and makes fun of his victims. But we didn't get that. So that's why it was really cool to see Robert Englund as Scarecrow in Injustice 2, not just because it's fantastic casting, but this is basically what Freddy would have been like. And so getting to see Freddy with the pre-fight, even though the intros are not as good now, with just 2 lines instead of 3, getting him to have some of those would be, honestly, I think by itself, reason enough to bring him back as a returning guest.
Definitely, I see the majority, at least when I thought MK9 was winning, and I thought it was going to win, but the majority of people who picked that, I guarantee you, is because of Kratos. Like, I genuinely think because many people, when they say, who guest characters we won in MK9, in MK1 or even future Mortal Kombat games, so many people say Kratos, and it's the new version. They're like, we want the new version of Kratos. We want to see this guy. And yes, they did it before, but this is a different Kratos, guys. You see all these top 10 videos, you'll see them all the time.
Even though tonally and for what MK is, the new Kratos just doesn't really fit the same way as like the rage god that he used to be. So all Kratos would fit better.
He still kills though, so I mean, like they think they still want that.
Of course, it's still an action game, but it's like it's not. Yeah. This isn't the guy who would like rip someone's head off and use it as a flashlight. You know what I mean? Like
he only has one finisher in the not the newest God of War game, but the previous one. I hate that they're not like numbered anymore because it's so confusing to say the first God of War because it's not the first; it's the first after reboot.
The first
whatever.
New one.
And that one, he does have one horrendous finisher that when everyone saw it, they're like, "Whoa!" And I feel like it was only left in for like old school fans that wanted at least one crazy finisher like that, and it's the werewolf people.
That's the exact one I was thinking about too.
He shoves his hand in their mouth and tears it down and tears them all the way down to like their freaking like crotch, but he just rips the whole front down. and then like just leaves him there for a second to look at him and just pushes him over. And I'm like, whoa.
Even I get PTSD looking at that shit. I'm like, wow. I remember
fair,
someone
though,
posted
on harder difficulties, they deserve that. Because those fuckers can ruin you in like less than a half second. They do so much damage and they're so fast. They deserve that death.
I saw like a gif of someone saying that's like when the dog ate something. When you tell the dad that the dog ate something.
Yeah, gotta get it out.
But yeah, yeah. So that's basically our opinion about this one. I guess we're kind of saying MK11's guest characters, in comparison, aren't that great compared to the other ones. That's sort of what we're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is, I'm pretty happy that Ed Boon brought this up, because I remember we brought this up a while back, or I thought we did, but he talks about the tournament skins, how it's like, if you buy this skin, this money goes to funding the tournament, where like that's how we got the MKX Ermac and Sub-Zero, and he brought that up by asking, like, what do you guys think about this? Should we do this again? And 90% of people were saying, like, hell yes, basically.
Yeah. It's one of
Here's
those
the thing,
like,
though. I get last time it wasn't it like the metallic costumes or something like
Ermac
that?
and
Yeah.
Sub.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee we're not going to get anything like that. It's just good. I mean, technically that was just
palette swap?
recolors, but it's just going to be like, here's this selection of characters in the combo breaker color scheme, these characters in the Evo color scheme, and it's just that's at best you'll get the logo on it, which will probably just make it look worse, and that's as good as we're going to get. I think honestly what would be better would be if they just did like, what if Johnny's house was just like made to look to like decorated for that event, and like it's like made it is like here's like a fighting game tournament watch party or a hosting party or something. Like have some computers in the background, one can fall into the water and power and like shut out all the lights. Like just have some fun with that, but it's obviously not going to happen. But
the MK11 stage that like they use in the tournaments is pretty awesome too. Like I do like
fantastic.
that. It's like fun stuff and whatnot.
just think, if they had done this from the start, it could have saved them a bit from the PR nightmare. $10 for a skin is still insane. But imagine if they had been like, oh, well, a bit of it goes towards tournament prize pools. Just barely damage control. Yeesh.
The next one we have here is, what was your favorite part of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath? New story, new fighters, babalities, or gameplay balances? And yes, he wrote freaking babalities, which is definitely a mistake.
Yeah, I think he's trolling.
Yeah, I did vote on that one. I voted story.
Same.
I mean, really, you could literally just put Mr. Karitagawa, and that most people would vote for that. I think.
Fair.
Because,
Yep.
Because wow.
Now, granted, like the DLC characters are great too, like Fujin, Shiva. Well,
That's what I
RoboCop.
put. RoboCop. That's what I put was new characters, because for me the most fun of like a fighting game is the new characters and just getting to mess around with them and see what they can do. That fun little like learning phase of a character is super fun. If I didn't have a YouTube channel and I just like lived a normal life when a new character came out, I would just turn on like very relaxing like ambient music and just zone out and just just play the character and be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that.
Interesting.
This is great. It'd be so relaxing, just so soothing. I could fall asleep learning a new character just from the relaxation of it, but oh well.
So New Fighters is definitely like the one winning in the poll, and yeah. After that, like Ed posts like the little teaser of like Ferra doing her fatality, and then it just cuts off 6 seconds later. And then we have 3 more in the polls here, 3 more questions. This one was controversial. Which MK movie fighter would you most want to see join the Kameo roster in MK1? 2 characters. Art Lean versus Cole Young.
When I looked at that poll earlier yesterday, it was almost tied, but Art Lean had a tiny lead. What are the results now, Sonic?
52% Art Lean, so pretty much
yes!
Pretty much the same. It's so
I had
funny
to explain
me.
who that is to Diff. He didn't know, and that's fair. But I had to explain who Art Lean is.
That's the thing, though. It's either you are an OG, you support the OG and you hate Cole Young and you pick Art Lean, or who the fuck is Art Lean? Cole Young. That's how I feel, at least. I think that's the case. That's what's going on here.
Where's
It was a lot of hate votes.
Where's Chuck?
Chuck.
I want Chuck from the newest movie. Where's Chuck?
Oh, from Cage Match, right? You're talking about Cage Match?
and so infuriated that the MK Wiki's like, wait, MK Wiki guys are like, wait, hang on. Chuck, he's mocap. That's canon. Let's put that in the article. Fuck you, Wiki. Fuck you.
So
I mean, he is now. Take that, Snake. Retcon.
So Art Lane, fake gun YouTube, fake gun. So Art Lane, interestingly, the funny thing is, if I'm actually genuinely looking at it from like a gameplay standpoint, Art Lane probably wouldn't provide much. We're literally just putting him there because we love him from the '95 movie.
I think what would work best, honestly, would be putting Cole as a fighter and putting Art as a cameo.
I think that's what they were suggesting. At least one of these were cameo.
They were saying cameo. But how dare you imply that Art Lane would not be amazing when he's literally a blank slate? You can do literally anything with him because there's nothing set yet. So, yeah.
Here's an interesting thing about, because I was researching this 2 years ago for the '95 movie. Out of all the actors, Kenneth Edwards, the person who's Art Lane, the actor, I think he's the only one. Well, also Robin Shou, but he's like the only one who didn't continue with acting, and he actually continued pursuing like martial arts. And he's like an actual dojo master and stuff. And he has like he actually like teaches like a really rare like fighting style and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I just like saw a video of him like recently too, and he basically looks the same too. So like if you really want to get obscure and you really want to find like ways of like different fighting and stuff, like you could look up some real life footage of like what he's been like doing and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of a cool thing.
I mean, you still get people who make fan roster like, here's the Combat Pack 2 I want to see, and they put fucking Vor packs from Conquest on there, or the weird Eagle Man voiced by John Rhys Davies from Defenders of the Realm. Like there are worse choices than Art Lane, who you can do anything with.
Hey, both of them are better than Art Lane, but still. I was on the Realmcast, and we put Vorpex on there, and it was very justified. Okay, how dare you roast my Realmcast bros?
I like Vortex. I think
they're my Realmcast bros too, you motherfucker.
So you made fun of them. How dare you when they wanted her? And I want Asgarth as a cameo too. How dare you?
I don't like them. They're not my bros.
See?
Wow.
Invite me back on, though.
Wow.
Sticker.
Okay, anyways, we're kind of getting off track here.
Oh, yeah? Well, I have this image. It's definitely not photoshopped where it says... I am no longer friends with Force Snake at Realmcast. True Underdog is my new best friend.
Damn. So,
don't get that meme, right? The old Indian,
I'm gonna act like a devil's advocate and give Cole Young points here. The only thing like I can see from him is the MMA influences you see him in the beginning of the movie, which really don't carry on as much later on. But that's like one of his gimmicks that he was going with this character. So he could have that. The issue is we have Reiko. The second thing, which I'm even hoping for this for the second movie, they enhance or they do more creative shit with his ability. Because currently his ability is just, let's say it together, plot armor!
Yeah. But legit though... I've got a gameplay mechanic for him. Because it's kind of presented a bit like Black Panther's vibranium suit, where like it builds up energy and then releases it. That's his mechanic. When you hit him, and one of his moves is specifically to stand out in front of his teammate and like take a hit for him. As you hit him, it builds up a little gauge for him, and then when then he can come out more powerful, like fully armored. Because I'm sure, wasn't the concept art where he's got like a full suit of armor, and like that's that's bound to be his power up in this film. Although probably redesigned to look a bit more like Scorpion or something. But he's gonna come in. He can come out decked out like that. It's like he's you have to build him up. He's like a Phoenix Wright or the other Phoenix, Jean Grey. So you have to build him up for him to be really good. And he comes out and he just like does like 80% damage when he comes out fully powered. He just destroys you.
The potential is there. It really depends on that second movie. And also, I still remember that second like concept art, which has Cole Young using the armor as if it like comes off like slime and like metamorphoses into stuff. Like you can put like a shield out or like a sword. And I was there like Venom. Oh my gosh, Cole Young has Venom moves. Cool, dude. Something like that. Yeah. It really depends on the second movie because Tom Fuzz and plot armor ain't it. I'm just saying.
Well, and also to be a super nerd, Venom can't actually make his stuff into weapons. It's not in his nature. Carnage can though.
Okay.
Venom can do other cool shit like turn invisible, but they never bring that up for some reason in the movies or recent media. But Venom can turn invisible.
Now. Sorry.
Damn it, Miles! Stop copying and then pretending it's yours.
He literally steals his name. He's like, I'm gonna put Venom Blast.
Yeah,
it's
true.
like, that's not yours, Miles. It's insane to me that they called it
guys.
Venom when it is. It's not like Venom's not an obscure character. He's like one of Spider-Man's. He's probably Spider-Man's most popular villain, aside from maybe Green Goblin. And people and it's like it's like it was like, here's my Carnage powers. Here's my Green Goblin powers. Fuck you, Miles. Get your own ideas, you fuck.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, Miles.
This is the third or fourth time on the podcast we complain about Miles. It's time to move on.
It's not our fault Miles is a bad character.
So let's continue on to the next poll here. What was your favorite of the previous Mortal Kombat single-player game modes? And we got MK9 Challenge Tower, MK Deception Conquest, MKX Crypt, or MK11 Towers of Time. So we all picked Conquest. Next. So
how is that even a challenge? It's literally just, here's just challenge tower. Wait, so two of them are just challenge towers, and one is just the place you go to unlock shit. Like, that's not even a mode. That's just busy
single
work.
Player mode.
So, if you were going to pick out these side modes, where's chess combat, puzzle combat, motor combat? That's the stuff you've been bringing up, not this.
Yeah.
Like, this feel like something I would do, to be like, which of these was the best mode? And I clearly slant it towards where the 3D era is going to win. Like, what the fuck?
I'm kind of shocked that MK11 is not the Crypt, and it's the Towers of Time. Well, I think the thing also is, like, it's picking which game also, because everything you just said, wasn't that all in Deception? Or
no.
It was in Deadly Alliance, all of them.
No, Motor Combat was in Armageddon. The rest were Deception.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was only Mortal Kombat. Okay, yeah, just combat stuff. But yeah, overwhelmingly 45% like Conquest. What the fuck, guys? Crypt is better than Challenge Tower. Even I like the Challenge Tower in MK9. Jeez. Okay. MKX Crypt.
Listen. Okay, the Crypt is amazing because I don't have to worry about like a challenge. I'm just walking around and unlocking things. I love that.
Jump scare.
I like challenge.
Conversely, Challenge Tower does not have jump scares from giant spiders. Fuck you.
True, and I will say though, if they remade the Crypt and there was always some enemy chasing you like Mr. X style in Resident Evil, then I wouldn't like the Crypt anymore. I don't want it to add any sort of like extra element that I can't just at my leisure open shit. Like, I even didn't like how in MK11's Crypt, how you could turn off the traps, but only once you got past it. But then when you reload the game and like go to the Crypt again, those traps are all back on. So whenever I wanted to get to a certain area to unlock something, like to go back there, I had to run the gauntlet every freaking time. That just felt stupid to me. But I'm a big baby. I'm lazy when it comes to that. I'll take competitiveness when it comes to fighting my opponent. In all other regards, no, please.
But that being said, though, we all agree the Conquest mode, right? Right, everybody? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just
Are you kidding? One of my favorite things to do in any game, because I'm a big sucker for environment art and modeling, I like to just walk around. Like, the whole reason I want to buy Hogwarts Legacy to this day, but I don't because I know I have no time for anything, is I want to just walk around the castle. It's like all I want to do. I'm a simple man.
So, the final question we have is quite simple, but basically, Ed Boom is asking, like, we have many alternate announcer voices MK. Who would you most like to have added as MK1 announcer voices? Number 1, Dan Forden, the guy who makes the toasty guy. Ed Boom, and wait, actually he says all calls made in toasty voice. So it's like he's gonna say Scorpion.
That'd be horrible. I would hate that so much.
Ed Boom and all calls made in Scorpion yelling voice, and Steve Ritchie classic MK1 Shao Kahn voice. So it's pretty no-brainer which one winning here, right?
Again, it's weirdly slanted.
Who did win?
It's clear what everyone would pick.
Yeah, literally. Well, Ed Boom, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm different though. I want Ed Boon just in his own voice to call it out.
Yes.
Be kind of cool.
Yes,
Scorpion.
exactly.
Katana.
Yeah, because Ed Boon's kind of reached a point now where he's kind of like that cool uncle of yours. Everyone loves Ed Boon, like Uncle Ed. Everyone loves that guy, right? Like, so he doesn't need to put on the facade of I'm the Scorpion voice. Like, people know you as just Ed Boon, the guy who makes Mortal Kombat stuff. Like, people would want that. Although I just would rather have Steve Ritchie, because it'd be really neat because he did come back for Shaolin Monks and his voice sounded very different from MK2, but it is still him. So I'm like, and that was at this point 19 years ago. So I'll be curious to see how he sounds now.
Yep. And that was the polls. So it's kind of a little small thing to like review and like check out. I appreciate Ed giving out these little events for the fans and stuff. Before we continue, do you guys want to take a break? We are close to the 2-hour mark. I'm almost out of water. See you guys when we talk about what's our next topic here.
The cameos.
Our choices for cameos. Yeah, that'll be fun. See you guys in a bit. Whee!
Pop, pop.
Let's get it up, up, up. Brrr-up. Yeah. Wish I had more energy drinks, but that would be so unhealthy. Heart palpitations. Oh, let's go. Don't wanna be all by myself. Just looking up Nexus mods for Mortal Kombat. Subliminal messaging, go. Channel membership, channel membership, channel membership, channel membership. Become a member, become a member, become a member, become a member. Exclusive content, exclusive content, exclusive content. Click that membership button.
Back.
Hello. I was doing subliminal. What?
I was just asking why'd you post that?
Because polls.
I thought I thought this was supposed to be the metal pole dropping sound effect.
Oh, that bing bing bing. No.
Yeah. Just for some reason it became a meme, just like the metal pole dropping sound effect.
I blame Jimmy here.
Jimmy who?
I don't know if you watch it. Jimmy here. So he has a whole very successful channel, and he was the guy that originally became viral for the "It is Wednesday, my dudes." Like that's him.
Okay,
but he made a whole career out of it. He's got like several successful channels, but on his own channel, he just does like you laugh, you lose, but he's actually does it correctly. Like if he laughs, the video ends. But a meme his fans kept doing is like one of the random videos would be bing bing bing, just the pipe dropping. He'd almost laugh at it. Yeah. So for one of his big celebration videos, he invited a bunch of big YouTubers and streamers all on location in the studio on like benches to do a big you laugh, you lose competition together. And for one of the parts, like he has like random segments where they stop the video and like someone comes in and does something interactive. That's very cool thing, very cool. One of the things was it's a grenade.
Is that an ice cube?
Yeah.
Wow,
oh, like an
that's
ice
so
maker
cool.
that makes grenades. That's kind of sick. But
yeah, that's
basically
really cool.
unironically, very cool. But anyway, one of the people came in for one of the skits. She just like walked into frame with a very long metal pole, and everyone just stared at her, and she just dropped it. And that was the joke to see if anybody would laugh at it.
Did they laugh?
No, because they knew it was coming. The whole point of that joke is that it catches you off guard.
Holy shit! What is that snake?
It's a little head.
It's a movie Bihan. It took his head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got head. Man, Snake always gets head. Wish I got.
The blade of Hanzo. No, Bihan, stop. Sorry, Snake, stop. Confused the two.
What was he doing? I missed it. Was he being inappropriate?
Well, he was getting head, as you said.
Oh dang. You wouldn't want Bihan for that. He probably has like cold lips, like yeah, and icy hands.
We're thinking way too much. So. The forest snake brought up a cute conversation that he wanted to talk about, like I think in the last episode.
Yeah, it could be for the last one, but we just went on a bit too long because there was stuff to talk about last time. So
yeah. And basically, he's asking, what are 4 or 5 cameo fighters you want?
Essentially, if we were to pick like the 5 cameo fighters for Combat Pack 2 or the expansion or what have you. Who would we pick? And then Dog, I think he made a video about it or posted on Twitter about it and showed us what he was going to do. And it's like, Dog, you ruined the whole bit.
He made a video about it. Yep. He already went ahead. He even took one of my suggestions.
I guess you can go and watch the Dog's shit video. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can do that if you want, I suppose. But wouldn't you rather just watch Sonic and I have a nice conversation and ignore Dog and just explain our way better ideas? Sonic, please kick Dog from the call.
All right, here we go. Yep, basically.
Don't do it to me. The sad part is I'm not even sure which video you're referring to because I've made like 2 videos on that topic now. They're still different in their own way, but they're both that kind of
You
thing.
made a video of your top 4 or 5 like most wanted, and even you also listed out like which characters you want. So basically, the only person that we don't know really is Snake. So this would be.
I mean, I didn't pay attention to what you two had put because I wanted to save it for the episodes so I could react to it properly.
Okay.
Because I'm
That's
a
very
professional who cares about the quality of this podcast. I am a professional.
Stop it! Your mic. It's annoying controlling your mic and editing. Jeez.
I'm sure the 3 people that watch this podcast are very happy that you kept it a secret.
So, yeah, I guess we should just talk about the.
Yeah,
just
if you're
go with 4.
if you're one of the few people who watch this podcast, you are a legend.
They are legendary. Status.
Legends. What's the status beneath a king? Royalty. Anyways, so let's just talk about like the 4. It's annoying controlling your mic and editing. Jeez. 4 Kameo Fighters that we brought up here. I'm looking at my list here basically. The first one I have here that I put is friggin' Moloch. Now, here's the thing though. It was either Draman or Moloch, and I think Moloch is the underdog in this scenario. That's why I picked Moloch. Okay.
He said the thing.
What?
You said it.
What did I
You
say?
said the thing. You said underdog.
Oh, okay. I thought I said the other thing, which might still come up later on. But I'm pretty sure. Anyways, so the Moloch could be the actual big boy as a Kameo fighter, since we couldn't get that with Goro. He's got that big giant ball. He's got that big suck. Yeah, suck, right? It's not the blow, it's the suck from what I recall and whatnot. There could be some fun things. He could get rode on by Ferra, so do fun stuff.
No, by Draman. You put Draman Moloch. That's what.
That's right. You can ride on Draman riding on Moloch.
That's why that would be a good choice, but because you didn't pick that, you just put Moloch on his own terrible choice. 0 out of 10.
Wow, unbelievable. To be honest, either Draman or Moloch works. I just picked Moloch because he's the underdog. Mm-hmm. Next, take it away, one of you guys. Yeah.
We're still doing cameos, or are we doing fully playable?
Cameo. We're on the cameo now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got through one of them, dog. Out of fucking 15 total. Keep up.
4. We're just doing 4.
I think Su Hao be kind of fun, just because nobody's expecting it. You could give him a fun gimmick where he if you summon him for one of his moves, he comes in and just starts slowly charging his chest laser. And then when he finally fires it, it does like a ton of damage, but your opponent has to be open for it to actually hit.
Like a Tekken unblockable.
Tekken unblockable.
Well, you can't make it unblockable. That'd be super unfair. But you could make it do a ton of damage. And maybe to make it really gimmicky, maybe it hits both of you. So like you as the main player have to find a way to hit the opponent, but also jump out of the way when he fires it. Be kind of cool. Yeah. You could bring back his stupid hand clap. When all like the wind comes out, be fun. I know Omni-Man stole it. Omni-Man stole from Su Hao of all people.
Unbelievable.
Absolute degenerate, but
that's what he is.
I was watching a video from a smaller channel, and I did kind of crack up when he's like explaining how powers work, and he's like, with Su Hao, I'm actually not sure if that thunderclap is the result of his bionic enhancements or if he can just do that. Because some characters just have superpowers in Mortal Kombat. So maybe he can just do that, but it's not explained.
Oh, is this the guy who makes those videos where he's like talks about elemental stuff and how it? I've seen a couple of his videos. Pretty interesting.
Cool. Mm-hmm. What about you, Snake?
So
what's your interesting?
My approach was to split it into categories because I really like how MK9's intentionally or not MK9's DLC is brand new character Scarlet, 3D era character Kenshi, arcade era character Rain, guest character Freddy. So my approach is to split it into the 4 eras plus one other category, which is a roster character as a cameo. And so for the arcade era, I realised most of those characters are already in the game as playable characters or cameos, and the ones that aren't largely have the same. Like Male Chameleon, his gimmick's already been used. There's not a ton of interest I can think for Nightwolf. My idea is Noob Saibot, because the idea
cameo.
Because the idea of having a cameo, puppeteer character could be interesting. Like you summon Noob, but he also has Saibot, and you have to try and manipulate both of them to get good results. Mm-hmm. And so he's on the field for a certain amount of time, but you can pin the opponent between both of them and do a bunch of juggles and stuff. And I think there's potential with that kind of character for a cameo.
So you're summoning 2 characters and controlling 2 characters on the field?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because we already have one.
Buddy.
We've already got like Sento Stance and like Janet Cage doing that. So now we got like 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, but he got both of them at once. So it's like, imagine if Kenshi could have Janet and his thing active at the same time.
Can your character
Sheesh.
move, or is he like in the stance when you summon the 2?
For balancing reasons, probably just standing still.
Oh
But
gosh.
I just think there is potential with the idea of controlling these 2 characters and trying to like position them in the right way to just lay into people. It'd definitely be one of those that has a really high skill floor, with like a really high skill ceiling too, to make
Yeah,
it
that
worth
does
it
seem
if you want to
very
put in the
hard.
time.
All right, cool idea there. So my next one I'll be saying here is Tiamat.
Oh, for God's sake.
I don't need to say anything else. What's up, Jonah Dog? You're next.
You're really not going to elaborate at all?
Do you
for
not
the
do you
people
not know
watching
the
who-
legendary character Tiamat?
I do, but it'd be fun for the audience if you like explained why that's funny.
Very well. Tiamat is the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance scratched or concept art character. You know, there's a couple of pretty crazy ones that exist there. We got a Zebra Man and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Tiamat is, long story short, basically just another scaly warrior, and that's basically
why.
all we know about him. There isn't anything else really. Is there like, someone made like a fan like lore for him? A member of the near extinct Saurian race, Tiamat was once a general in the armies of Zaterra. Very cute. Someone made like a little lore piece.
Tiamat
for him.
must be an existing character in someone's culture too, because
Yeah.
I see other characters also named Tiamat. Is it a?
Yeah, it's
is
not
it
like an original
Egyptian.
name.
I think it's Sumerian.
Oh, is that where their name comes from too? Like the reptile species? Sounds like similar to that.
It's
Anyway.
it's Babylonian personification of salt water, generally depicted as a dragon. So it does make
So
sense.
here's another Tiamat from Ghostbusters. Apparently, they have a Tiamat.
I mainly know about Tiamat because it's one of the like the big bosses
Cool,
in
cool.
Fate Grand Order, and of
Ah.
course she's a waifu. She's
Let's
she's like personified there as like the mother of demons.
Well, she's a waifu in Ghostbusters too. I mean, look at this. It's like the Ghostbusters comic, and she's pretty hot too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm just looking at Tiamat. There is no good
Damn.
renders. It's so low res.
It's just sketches of him, isn't it? Like concept art, and that's it. for
Yeah,
Tiamat?
that's all.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
I'm not sure if it was stated or just theorized that this design inspired Reptile's look, because especially if you look at Reptile's alternate costume, like this is a clear lot
pretty
of similarities
close.
to
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The more caveman design for
I mean-
reptile for like the alt. Yeah.
I would not be shocked if at one point they were going to just do a brand new lizard character to see if it would work, and then someone on the staff was like, "Why don't you just make that reptile?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah, fair enough."
Reptile is pretty much the only scaly character that's really still committing to the scaly bit.
Yeah, well,
For
he wasn't
us.
even a scaly really yet, though. Like, yeah, he had a fatality where he pulled his. Oh,
He
you're
has
right. No,
the head.
MK4.
He has
MK4.
the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He has the
Sorry, I forgot
movies.
about everyone's like least favorite reptile design. My bad.
Yes, and the
Forgot.
movies, technically speaking, but yes, exactly.
I loved your
Just,
joke too, Sonic, when you're like, what if when they give him the 95 costume for Reptile, for his lizard form, he becomes tiny and that gross little CGI
Yes,
monster
yes.
from the movie?
Do it. It's so funny.
I'm sure it'd either be unchanged or the 2021 version, but that would be amazing. Just to have him big, or like take that design and reimagine him as buff. Like how would that version
Oh,
look
like
if he got
that. It's like a
swole suddenly?
giant.
Yeah, keep the
That'd be
same
so
model, but give him
funny.
the colors. Like, make his eyes have the weird, like, red rings around them and everything, and the black
Yeah,
light.
I'm sure
Kinda
it would
cool
just
looking,
be like a
honestly.
recolor based on that.
This
Yeah.
waifu you just
Which-
posted kind of bothers me because it gives me PTSD of that one Dark Souls boss, the fucking Hydra in the fucking lake that, like, that's what she reminds me of, but in waifu form.
Dark Souls 1?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not really a boss though. It's just like a minion in the lake. It's very hard to beat though. But yeah.
It's just a random enemy, basically.
Well, I mean,
Anyways.
when you kill it, it never comes back, so that makes it a boss to me, but
Oh, okay.
Fair
suck
enough.
my balls.
More
I mean,
of a sub
would you
boss,
count
but
Havoc
okay.
as a boss? No, wait, not Havel. Sorry, would you count like
Havel?
NPCs? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Havoc's, no, I'm doing it. You
My
messed
bad.
me up. Yeah,
Havoc's ring.
how dare you say it, Havel.
Ring.
What's his subtitle again? I'm forgetting what his. Oh, The Rock. Havel the Rock.
Havel, yeah.
Stop saying Havel.
Havoc the Tremor.
That was fast.
Havoc the Dyro.
What the heck? Anyways, Dog, who's your second Kameo fighter?
So is it Lucifer that was cut? Or the one that was killed by Shinnok? Or is it
Wait, no,
Baphomet?
Lucifer is canon.
Isn't there like another one? There's like 2 Satan characters that got cut, aren't there? There's
Baphomet.
Lucifer.
Yes.
It is Baphomet, yeah, which also is just another name for Satan.
And Belloc from MK.
Belloc is who I was thinking of. Yeah, I want to do Belloc.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Why not? If we're doing like out there references or characters that got cut and never got a chance, we're doing that because you can't put the Zebra Man in. As cool as that would be, we can't put in the Zebra Man.
as a
Nobody
Kameo
would
fighter.
allow it.
In fairness, I'm pretty sure Zebron was just a joke. I don't think they ever seriously considered putting in
Well,
a
so
Zebra
was
Man.
so was Mocap, but I mean, he made it in.
Yeah, but Mocap's cool. Zebron isn't.
Oh, the
Mocap
Zebron,
is
the dozen
definitely-
Zebra fans are mad at that. How dare you?
Mocap is definitely not cool, but I'm very happy that my audience got my joke when I made that poll of who wins in a free for all, and it's like some serious questions, and then just like Mocap with $25. And he got a good amount of votes. I was like, yeah, that's right. They know the lore that he gave you money. And the exact exchange I wanted in the comment section happened. It was so freaking funny. Somebody said, I don't think you guys realize how many Infinite is, because one of the options was Noob Saibot with Infinite clones. And the reply to him was, I don't think you realize how much $25 is for Mocap. You don't know what he can do with that. He can escape the fucking Chaos Realm with those $25, man. He can do anything. Why was he down there? It's the best part.
So, Belloc, B-E-L-O-K-K.
I'm not sure how he
Belloc.
would play gameplay-wise. I guess just like generic demon stuff. Like maybe he lights you on fire. He can.
That's the thing, though. I really want a generic demon in this game because we have seen MK11 hordes and hordes of loaves, and none of them are playable. They're just all little minions. Like, have one of them be like a demon general. Why not? That's not a cool idea.
Tell you what, he's gonna
Why were
steal
you
that
laughing?
gimmick from me or Snake.
Like, he's laughing.
That's the stupidest idea. When you're spelling out Belloc, I realised B-E-L-O-K-K in a wheelchair.
Okay. And
Like
I got
morph
it.
into it. Meow.
He's just a morph.
Gameplay-wise, I was gonna say you could bring back that ridiculous mechanic from Killer Instinct. That to this day, I'm like, what an innovative idea. But also, it's one of those ideas I would have thought of in like high school and been like, nah, it's kind of stupid. That's kind of complicated. But Hyro, is that his name? The fire guy in Killer Instinct?
Cinder.
Another fire guy.
Cinder, sorry. Cinder, in the new one only, this was not a thing in the old games, had this really weird gimmick where if you chose to end the combo with his like fire attack where he burns their arms or their legs, it would light those limbs on fire. And if you used those limbs to attack, you'd be fanning the flames, so the fire would get bigger and burn even more of your health over time. So when he ends the combo with that burn on your hands, your punches are kind of like hurting you. So you want to just use only kicks from then on. And because Mortal Kombat actually does map their buttons based on which limb you're using and punches or kicks, you would know as the player, like, my arms are on fire. Okay, so only X and circle are my attacks for a little bit because like I don't want to fan the flames. It'd be kind of a fun gimmick. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be kind of cool. The problem is, my God, if you don't buy that character, you will not know what the hell is going on because that's a very hard gimmick to understand.
It'd be funny though with certain moves because like I think it's more with the kicks and the punches, but like Shao has axe swings for kicks. Sindel has her for kicks. So it was like, the feet are on fire. If they attack with them, it's going to burn them. And Shao's just there swinging his axe. It's like, why does this hurt me?
Another cool idea I just thought of. What if Belloc lights the entire floor on fire and everyone takes damage over time? It'd be like a fun idea if you have life
everyone.
lead, but kind of a gamble.
That sounds like one of those really, really bad phases from like Mesa bosses.
How dare you?
The funny thing about that first mechanic, I remember in like, it's not necessarily the challenge tower, but like I think MK9 challenge tower, where you have like the slot machine mode or something. Or it's not just the slot machine mode, but it's like you have characters without limbs.
Yeah, test your luck.
Limbless
Yeah, it's like the arms are out, so every time you use a punch, just and stuff. That kind of reminds me of like what you said about Killer Instinct. It's like, so you don't want to use the punch, you just want to use your kicks move and stuff like that. Well, yeah, so MK9 kind of did that a little bit there too.
Mm-hmm.
Or just
they did.
I think in that case, just limit it so you can't use punch moves if your arms are on fire and stuff like that. Or
that's too strong though. That'd be way too OD. That'd be a fun Havoc move though. He sneaks in from behind and like actually tears your main character's arms off, and you're like, ah, without arms for like 5 seconds. How would you block? Just eat punches to the face. Just like keep getting hit. Put the arms up, it does nothing because you don't have arms anymore. Ah, fuck.
So,
sorry, I've had way too much fun with that. That mental image is really cracking me up.
Snake, what is your second character?
So this one was the hardest one to pick for me because there are actually quite a few options for the 3D era.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one I settled on was Blaze.
Oh,
because you can find an interesting gimmick with both of his forms, or because he has like the two different forms, and he can do something with that. Maybe he just builds up fire from attacking, then he can become all big and swole. But the main thing that I was thinking of was his fatality. But what I would do is it would be like he would like basically do the thing and like give the person the power from the end of Armageddon, and then they get like an orange aura. Like Shao Kahn does at the start of MK9, and so he does that, but then he just keeps channeling the power, and he just keeps going in, and they're just there like catching fire, and they do the animation that Blaze does when he explodes in Armageddon. It's like, you know, the one they stole from Onaga in Deception, which is really lame. It fits Blaze more. They stole it from Onaga, but like have that. He does that to the opponent by channeling too much power, so it's related to the lore and a fun callback to Armageddon.
That is pretty cute. I do quite like that. Look at how proud Snake is after he said that. He's like, call back to that.
Call back to the good games.
Okay, my.
Is there any? Oh, your turn. Yeah, your turn.
Yeah, what's up, dog? What were you gonna say?
You go ahead. I'm just stretching.
Oh, okay. My next character will be the obvious pick, the fan favorite. What was it called? She's an icon. She's something. And she is the moment. Now, come on now. Madame Bo. How can I not pick her?
Oh, okay.
Right, at this point, too, people are like calling for her to be the Kameo Fighter. At least to make it so that she can have more, like, a connection to even, like, the expansion in a way. It's like, oh, she's a Kameo Fighter, so maybe she can, like, forced to, like, be in, like, a situation where she's fighting alongside Raiden when she's in the tea house or something like that. There's a lot of potential you can do with her.
A fun opening scene that contrasts the main story, where it's like evil alternate timeline invading Lin Kuei, led by like the Sub-Zero Quan Chi. They attack the tea house, and then this time, because Madame Bo's like, hey, I didn't help. This isn't a thing we're doing. And then it's like Raiden and Kung Lao fighting them, and Madame Bo's backing them up.
Yeah,
it sounds base as hell.
They better include at least one Blanche reference where you can grab her and throw at the opponent and just start punching them. Just like that brutality.
I think one thing I really like about Madame Bo in the game is just the amount of funny like supposed references and backstory like she has that's never explained. It's like she was in the Lin Kuei, huh? One of Ermac's souls knows her, huh? It's like, I forgot, like, Sindel or somebody else knows her. It's like, how many Kalal's like, how many secrets does this woman have?
Isn't it mentioned that one of the Ermac souls, like, dated her at one point, or was like...
Not date, but, like, something along, like, knowing her and whatnot. I'll look that up in just a bit, but yeah.
It's still kind of crazy because that's an Outworld soul saying that, which means that at some point Madame Bo was like, yeah, I was just casually an Outworld somehow.
There's so many.
I'm sure the implication is that she competed in at least one tournament in the past.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be very cool.
I mean, it's held every 10 years now, so she could have been in multiple. So I'm sure...
What do you mean 10 years from now?
No, it's held every 10 years.
How do we know that? How is it 10 years?
Liu Kang says that.
No, I don't remember him saying that.
I'm pretty sure he said it every decade.
Because there was an intro dialogue where, like, Kung Lao says, like, next time I won't be losing in your tournament, and Sindel's like, the next time you'll be an old man. So I'm assuming that means 50 years. But, like, I don't think they ever say the exact time.
I'm sure he says it's
I
every
mean,
10 years.
If they did every 10 years, that's a smart change, because that means if in MK2 there's a time skip, you can easily have the next generation of like fighters like ready to go. You know, like they're 10 in MK1, but they're like 20 finally in MK2. Smart idea. That one little random monk kid that everyone assumes is Kai, he can be ready in MK2.
The
Jinko can be ready.
To me, I think it's very obvious that the
Hanzo.
next thing that they're going to do for the tournament is the Shang Tsung tournament on his island. I think that's what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Even though I'm still so mad that Hanzo's even like a fighter again. The one thing they could have done with the reboot is that Hanzo's just happy living his life with his family, like peacefully.
Oh, well. Every day on Twitter,
Could've been
I don't
Hanzo's
know how
tea
I found the Hanzo stands, but I just keep watching people complain about Kuai Liang and then loving Hanzo every single day. It almost makes me feel like somehow Kuai Liang is the most ruined character based off of these stands.
Okay, so I found it. It's on the MK wiki, so it could be wrong, but they have a transcript of all the story dialogue, and it's every century. Which means so Madame Bo probably is from Outworld. I mean, she could be 100 years old, but if she was around in a prior tournament, then she probably would have. She probably is from Outworld.
Because
maybe she was in the last tournament, which would have been held in Earthrealm, and she fell in love with the culture and decided to stick around.
Yeah, because like there's also an intro dialogue that implies that Sindel even knew Scorpion's like parents somehow. So it's like that's why I guessed 50 years, but we don't know the confirmation. We do not know the exact time, which you did see every century. I'm trying to look it up and see if he says that. But yeah.
If it was every century, then Kung Lao would not be an old man. He'd be fucking dead. That man is not living to be 120.
I wonder if they chose a century for the tournament, so they have a convenient excuse to never have to do another tournament again until they reboot again. You know. They're forward thinking like, we don't want to do another tournament plot. I will just say it's 100 years from now. The series will be over by then. It's fine.
Well, there goes my fan fiction spin-off comic where the main character is just a gambler who bets on which character's going to win in the tournament. He's just a gambling addict, and it's like fantasy football, but he's gambling on the Mortal Kombat contestants. Come on.
Yeah, it does say
Can't make that
century
an
here in
ongoing
chapter
series.
1, so probably is the case. All right.
Also, completely random tangent, but since y'all went down here,
got the answer.
I still hate that it was a one-man tournament from Earthrealm. I think it's one of the dumbest changes ever. They could have easily incorporated all the people and have just each fight one person.
Join
like
my
round
comment
robin
section because that's all I see on my chapter 3 video, and I'm gonna defend that
was
because
really
if that's the case,
dumb.
that's not gonna because the focus of the story isn't about the tournament. Because if that's the case, 8 chapters will be about the tournament, which is fine, but that's gonna be the story then. We're not gonna talk about anything else.
Not exactly. You could just have them fighting in the background at the same time, and then when you win the match as Raiden, like he looks over and like you see who won in their fight at the same time. And it just like pans over. It could have worked.
Alternatively,
the chapter 3 is already like 40 minutes long in between cutscenes.
NetherRealm could just stop being stupid and stop putting the character chapters and just say, here's a chapter that is the tournament. 8 fights you get to play as like 4 different characters.
Oh, you mean like Tekken 8?
Yeah, just you play the full tournament instead of just like a few inconsequential fights, like the whole thing. Then you can play as a bad guy. You can play as General Shao beating up like Johnny Cage or something. And then it's I've like a funny joke where he tries to break Kung Lao's neck, and then Sindel's like, stop, heal, stay.
Would you, in that case, would it be the case where it's like you can have Outworld win or Earthrealm depending on the player choice, but that wouldn't necessarily matter for the later on part of the story? Then it's just like this tournament isn't that big of a deal.
No, because we do want to have like a set victor for the tournament. Whereas with Tekken 8, because the tournament's interrupted, it literally doesn't matter who wins those fights, other than Jin, because he's the main character.
Yeah, it's fine. I do think. Never mind. Thought left me. I had an idea. It left.
But yeah. What's the? Is Dog? Because I went through my third Kameo Fighter.
I had it and then I totally lost it.
Lol, that's what you get for not waiting.
You can look up your own video.
That's also what I get for. I got stuck googling all the pretty ladies that show up in Mortal Kombat Conquest. There's a lot of pretty actresses that are all playing what looks like concubines.
I can't believe Dog is so hesitant to rewatch his own videos. It can't be very good then.
What was that? Who was shit talking Vorpex just then? Like, I remember Snake was.
Listen,
Me.
Yeah, Vorpex. He was like
I hate
a
my
worse
own
option
voice,
than
so.
Artlene, and it's like, okay, hang on a second. We're shit talking Ko Young here. What the hell is up with Asgard and Vorpex shit talking here? Unbelievable.
I mean, I think Cobra and Kira could be a fun cameo, but the fun part would be I want to have a cameo character that, like you were saying earlier, has a test your luck kind of element to it.
Oh.
In the sense that, like, let's say because they're a Black Dragon member, right? So they're not really trustworthy, even if they're on your team. So it'd be really funny if, like, for at least one or two of their attacks, when you press the cameo button to summon them, it has a 50-50 chance of hurting you somehow.
Not 50-50.
Like, you're not sure what kind of move you're gonna get.
Maybe 25% chance of hurting.
Yeah,
you,
it better. Yeah, it's like you got to make a good percentage as to why I want to use this cameo now.
Literally half the time it backfires on me. I'm not using that character.
Yeah.
Or if it can't hurt you, it could be still like Harley Quinn's ability in the first Injustice game, where it's got 4 different things that can happen, and none of them are bad. They're just 4 different outcomes. That could be cool. Like maybe you summon, this wouldn't work for Cobra or Kira. This would work better for like No Face.
Yeah, but
you summon him, and like either he does the flamethrower or he does a bomb.
It could be like No Face, Jarek. Can't do Tremor. He's already there. Tasia.
Fuck
and
Jarek.
Probably
Jarek never comes back.
Probably Unburnt Cabal. And you just put those 4 in as a group, and it's like, yep, the Black Dragon as a faction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, as an entire cameo.
You could also,
fighter.
if you wanted to be cool and just try something new with a blank slate, kind of, you could bring back the double katana girl from Special Forces, whose name I forget.
Yeah, Tasia.
Tasia. She showed up in the
comics
too, very briefly. Yeah. Pretty cool.
So I guess your answer is the Black Dragon.
Yeah, but the main thing, I'm kind of a hypocrite because I'm like, I made fun of Justin Wong for the Functions debacle where he said like, well, this character is still the same as the one you love from Marvel 3, same function, just a different character. And it's like, they didn't want the function, they want the character. I think of like functions first when designing a character, so it's like, I want someone who has a gimmick of like, you don't know what you're going to get. And to me, a Black Dragon member is great for the gimmick of, are they going to help you or betray you?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
And like you said, not 50-50, but like a 1 in 5 chance or something.
In fairness, I felt like the cameos, if anywhere in the game, the cameos are the ones that should be gameplay focused in terms of what gets them chosen, as opposed to this was a popular character. It's like, yeah, but if they're often interesting, then why are they even here?
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. It's gonna be our new freaking catchphrase. So Snake, who was your third cameo fighter?
Well, I will say Madame Bo was my new era character. But we already talked about her, so I'll move on to my NetherRealm era character. And this might surprise you. My NetherRealm era pick is Kronika.
Oh, I was thinking if it's gonna be a surprise,
yeah.
it's gotta be Kronika, isn't it?
because we've never had Kronika's power at our fingertips. And like, I'm sure Kronika's going to return because the fact that people who weren't even in MK11 have timelines where they won, clearly her ending in MK11 happened in some timeline. So she's going to come back eventually, but I feel like until then we might as well just give us access to the character.
They have a freaking
Snake,
new model.
You've given us too much power. Yeah, they have a new model.
Exactly,
That's another reason, because the model exists. Literally just give us some other colour palettes. Here's a white one, here's a sandy one. Boom, there you go. You've got Battle Nun Kronika. And we can actually have access to... and then I want them to give us her fatality
that's
from
a cool
MK11.
fatality.
The problem is...
Pretty good one.
The problem is that one doesn't stop. It keeps going. And with the way the victory poses are done now... That would mean either she just keeps going while the other character just stood there doing nothing, which could work. It'd be like the other characters there, like getting ready to do like a cool pose, and Kronika freezes them. Is the implication or something? But just give us that fatality. I'm sure it would be some bullshit which like takes the soul and puts it into the hourglass. But I do think Kronika is one of those characters that would just make sense as a cameo, just to bring her back, and she would have been a better pick than Kung Lao. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But see, Snake, you're giving us too much power now, because that means now every single player with their favorite character can do the gimmick where you freeze them in an awkward position, jump behind them, and then just boom, boom.
I mean, only Geras has that animation, I'm pretty sure. but I'm sure people would get creative with some others.
Yeah, they find some way to do it. I love that meme, man. It's so good.
Hey, on a second. So you brought up that meme. I saw this like GIF on Twitter. You guys gotta watch it now.
I just thought of a move. I thought of a move she could do, where she could like turn the opponent's Kameo into sand and they disappear. And the gauge resets and they can't come back until it's full. It's like is Janet Cage giving you trouble? Kronika just comes out and turns it to dust.
By the way, Snake, watch the video I just posted. POV.
It's legit like the wide Putin meme. He just waddles in.
The funny thing about it is, like, you can't show the proper POV where it'd get you from behind because you wouldn't be able to see it.
Here's the
BBC.
Here's the funny thing about like Kronika. A lot of people, because I mean I hate Kronika. Everybody hates. Okay, we hate Kronika. But if Kronika did ever return, I really would not mind as long as it's not Titan Kronika. It's like some sort of weaker version of her. It's like a sapped version.
Well, that's the thing is, like, you almost can't bring her back. I mean, I guess you could because it is possible for her to lose her power. I think she did in Cabal's ending.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I say lose power, I mean not completely. Like, she still has some of her gimmicks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just mean, like, because she doesn't exist anymore in timelines where she dies, as Geras establishes, that means that the only ones that can come back are ones who win or are just somehow still alive. Like maybe they bring back Cabal as a fighter, then Kronika's there as his minion, which would be pretty funny.
That would be interesting.
Which, I mean, just imagine the idea of like the guy with super speed has someone who can freeze the opponent in time, just to make it even more unfair.
Yeah. I guess in that case, I'll talk about my final character. I've been alluding to it, but before I allude to who it is, I have to say something, which if you see my recent tweets, you would know. I just finished Defenders of the Realm recently, the entire show.
Fucking loser.
What the frick?
Was it
wow.
Fun? Did you enjoy it?
Wow, I know where this is going. I know where this is going, you fucking loser.
What do you think? Where do you think you know where this is going? You don't know where this is going. But did I enjoy it?
Asgard.
It's either gonna be Birdman.
Shut up! Let me finish talking. Jeez. I'm talking about my love for Defenders of the Realm. It's a garbage show, but I loved it. Okay, that's how I generally feel about that show. It's bad. The animation is bad. Like the things that happen in it, it's so cringe, but like it's so endearing. I really appreciate it and love it. I can go on about this show, but
how was Komodai?
I'm disappointed he's not green enough. But anyways, so the things I do like about the show are genuinely like some of the made up lore or like stories that they put in, or even the original concept for characters too. Like I actually think I was
the Grandmaster, pretty cool.
Grandmaster, you got Ruby, you got that one like girl who has a vendetta against Katana who kind of sucks. But yeah, in terms of like a character, but even like some of the minions too, just randomly, just some freaking gigantic hulking monster with 6 centipede heads and stuff like that. Like, okay, cool, random ass shit. I could go on about Defenders of the Realm. Like this shit is very deep. But yeah, if I'm talking about character design, I think Asgard does look very freaking cool when he just first shows up with. I was like, this voice sounds way too familiar. I look it up. Yep, motherfucking Macbeth from Gargoyles. It's the exact same voice actor, just that guy. He just shows up rocking this rad like design and stuff. But when I finished the episode, I was like, bro, what the fuck can you do? It's like you do like one move in the entire episode, which is just claw somebody, blue flash, close up on his fucking eye, and that was it. That was the entire thing he did in that entire show. I was like, you know that meme where it's like, yes, girl, give us nothing? Literally what happened there. I was like, okay, I guess they were setting him up for season 2, which never unfortunately happened. So, but in terms of character design, I think he was the coolest. But you know who I want for character in terms of gameplay?
Oniro.
Oh, who's Oniro again?
The Grandmaster.
You're right. That fucking Grandmaster, not the sit around, I'm the Grandmaster. Oh, Sector kill me, now he's the Grandmaster. Or the fucking one that gets killed in the battle rooms. Nuh-uh. The freaking first white, like, ninja suit costume Grandmaster character. I mean, like, literally it's like the white ninja suit. So we don't have that yet. And then the dude has, like, transformation powers. He transformed into, like, a cheetah, into a freaking bird. He has a wooden sword. He uses for one scene, literally only to deflect, like, Sub-Zero's ice. And he is a Grandmaster, so he might be able to use ice. But the thing, the big thing that he does is he was Reptile before Mortal Kombat 1 Reptile, before Mortal Kombat 1 Reptile. Because he, in a scene, also changes his arms into, like, the Jaguar arms and starts, like, scratching the opponent. I'm like, he's doing the Reptile thing in MK1! Oh my gosh! So yeah, so much potential. So many cool things, yeah. So design-wise, Asgard, gameplay-wise, the Grandmaster. He had a name. I didn't even remember his name from that episode.
Which is funny because the name is clearly Japanese, which means like in that continuity, the head of the Lin Kuei is Japanese.
Yeah.
They really can't get that right, could
back
they?
then. Yeah, back then it was pretty common to fuck those things up. I did like that guy though. I think he's cool. Everyone brings him up when they want to make fun of Battle of the Realms, and anytime the Grandmaster is like just an old man that can't do nothing, it's like, dude, remember back when the Grandmaster was a badass that could shapeshift?
Yeah, that's the only time he ever was a badass. So that's like that's my favorite episode too. But anyways, yeah. Dog, who's your final Kameo fighter?
Thought I was done.
Look at him, not prepared. We had this up for like 2 weeks. He didn't prepare.
He already made a video about it, so he doesn't care about the topic anymore.
Exactly.
He's not a team player. This boy.
To be fair, y'all's picks are way more interesting than mine. Well, I mean, you didn't say it, so I'll say it. Asgarth, the big bird
okay,
man.
I kind of alluded to him, but yeah, sure.
But they have to get John Rhys Davies back, otherwise don't bother.
Yeah, exactly. They can give him new moves. Like, he's a bird, so what do they give him? Flying moves, caca claws. He just looks at you with his big eyes for one scene for some fucking reason in the show.
He's got a move where he grabs the opponent with his talons and just holds them in place so you can teleport behind them and.
Why are we giving this to everybody?
Even the playing field.
Yeah.
Even
you can do it to Garrus.
Even the playing field.
Yeah, that's the way you balance games. You never nerf anyone, you just buff everyone.
Here's the thing about Asgarth too. He's actually one of the rare Defenders of the Realm references in Mortal Kombat 1.
What?
Well, in one of the intro dialogues, Scorpion asks Baraka, it's like, you have a very unique style of fighting, and Baraka says, it is the way of the Asgarth. And it's like, oh, Defenders of the Realm reference. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they actually did reference that there.
Look at that, Snake. They're bigger fans than you. Find a way to sneak in Asgard.
The idea of Asgarth showing up and he's like, yeah, I taught Baraka how to fight. I taught him everything he knows.
The thing that I think what it implies more is like it's a method of fighting, and they call it the way of the Asgard. Kind of like how the Umgadi are like praising the god Delia and stuff like that. It's like this is like a history thing, something that happened in the past, not currently. It's
that's
just
what
like
I was gonna say,
a fighting style and
well.
stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say before I forgot due to my major ADD. I was gonna say Delia, but
Delia.
Yeah.
She's got a cool design.
She created blades. She could bring out fire elementals.
Also, if the Umgadi is all about her culture, maybe she can be the ultimate Umgadi fighter and stuff like that.
And you can give us one of her more like exaggerated outfits that she had in the concept art. I think where she had like the crazy cape and shit.
Yeah,
I kind of remember that.
Huge mantle. Yeah. It's like a bikini with like a massive mantle on it. Like what?
Yeah, it's like Shao Kahn if you're the chick. Yeah.
Wow.
She had some pretty out there designs that were pretty interesting, but in the end
cool.
they went with like Oracle style.
Yeah.
Like
I still like her base design.
She's
though.
got her face covered.
It is still interesting.
I like the
It
bottom
looks
left.
better when reimagined too.
I like the bottom left one.
The bottom
looks
really
like a female Belloc.
That's pretty sick. It also would be cool implications too if that's like, wait, that's who he married? Like Argus had his choice of all the women, he picked that, a demon. Okay.
I mean, maybe she's another demon.
Yeah. The only issue with Delia in the old games like Armageddon is they didn't have a very easy way to like. They had a lot of polygons back then, or like not a lot. too little polygons. The things were like all blocky looking.
Uh-huh.
So as a result, her curtain on her head looks like a bucket.
Oh.
It looks kind of goofy in Armageddon. I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of stupid. But if they could reimagine it as a hoodie, or like more cloth looking, it could be kind of cool.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's just like a bucket.
Yeah, I thought it was when I was a kid. I was like, what is this stupid? Even as a kid, I was like, I like titties, but like, what is this? Like, she's not even a character. She's just like naked lady with head bucket.
Yeah. Any final? What about you, Snake? I know I took Matt and Bo from you, so I don't know if you had any other backups.
Yeah, because I had 5. Remember?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The fifth one is the theme of taking the character who's already on the roster and having them as a cameo, because I feel like that kind of thing should have been reserved for characters who are notably different in their movesets or the current incarnation. So I feel like if you're going to pick 2, even above Scorpion and Sub-Zero, it should have been Raiden and Liu Kang. And you make them more classic in their styles. So you have like here's Mortal Liu Kang with the classic bicycle kick, or here's God Raiden. And so my choice is God Raiden, just because they have the voice and face assets already. And like, keep in mind, they put in a unique face for 2 models and unique voice clips just for one fight in the story mode. But we can't even fight him later on. Like, all the fusions of the other Raiden, we never get to fight a God Raiden again. So I'd like use those assets you've made and make a classic Raiden, and just have that. And then his torpedo move doesn't slant the way the Mortal Raiden does. He just goes straight. And then his fatality. And then while the fatality, I'm sure they'll just go with the MK1 one where he electrocutes him and the head explodes. I would go for the censored version, from the version that didn't have the blood code. Because some of those fatalities, some of them were better. Like Sub-Zero freezes and shatters the opponent instead of ripping their head off. And what Raiden did was he electrocuted them to dust. And I think seeing that effect could be really cool with like the modern graphics.
Yeah.
Like just watch them get and they like turn to dust and like blow away in the wind, and then Raiden's just there like doing the classic pose.
The classic pose.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And there's one more move, Snake, they have to bring back, but we got to make it ridiculous so that when you do it, it's the ultimate flex. Maybe it costs like all 3 bars of your meter in the full cameo circle, but then Raiden comes in and starts doing that chant and charging that little orb from the start of Deception. And if you can protect him for a solid like 20 seconds straight, he just explodes and kills everyone, and it's a GG, like it's a tie. So if you're up around, then you win. Because the epic.
Or if you hit him, it just becomes his harakiri, and then he's out.
He just explodes himself and he's gone. Oh shit!
You can never use him again in the match.
No, he becomes Dark Raiden.
He becomes Dark Raiden. he literally just changes the palette.
Yeah, no other changes. Maybe he gets like a little damage buff or something, so it's still kind of in your favor if he gets hit. But I just love the idea of that game-winning bullshit. Like, you just got to defend him for a long-ass time. It reminds me of the Blaze Blue games always have that, and the Persona game had it too, where like you have an insta-kill move, but it's so godly slow that it never hits anybody. Same gimmick.
I just think of like Budokai 3, where I think Vegeta's final flash, I think if it finishes the opponent off, then he lives, but if it doesn't, he just dies.
I remember something like that, yeah.
The opponent has like 1 health left, Vegeta just does not survive his attack.
Accurate.
That's why I laughed pretty hard, and they brought that back in Dragon Ball Super. Because for a reference, obviously, and to make you freak out, like, no, he's going to kill himself to like help win the tournament. But he survives, and that's cool. But only his shirt gets destroyed. He still has his pants and boots and stuff, and I think his gloves are even still there. It's like only his shirt got destroyed in the final flash. Were you holding back, Vegeta? Your clothes didn't even all get destroyed.
Unbelievable.
Would have been so much missed opportunity to have Vegeta survive, but he's naked and in the famous Yamcha pose, like in a crater.
Oh yeah.
But it's Vegeta.
So, that was the fun Kameo Fighter like conversation. Now, before we get into the Q&A, I did actually kind of want to shout out recently, because we've all been kind of like uploading a bit more, especially Snake, since you started your Mortal May series. So I've been enjoying your videos recently, Snake. You've been uploading a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cool things, like the Dark Raiden and like the Ermac stuff. which I would totally in my video be like, I was going to just talk about the Ermac stuff, and I'm like, but Snake already did that. So literally, guys, you want to learn about Ermac potentially being character 24? There is this video, basically. You'll see that in my next video.
Yeah, so just quickly go through it, I guess. I did a video where I basically explained clearly Ermac was meant to be on the game's base roster, and here's me laying out all the evidence over the course of 7 minutes, because it's very clear that he was going to be base roster. There's too much evidence. There's too much evidence to suggest otherwise. Then I did a Star Wars video.
Pretty shocking, actually. I was not expecting. Well, I guess for this May the 4th.
Yeah, because it was a video I wanted to make anyway, but I thought, fuck it, just go for it. I'm sorry for this background noise. My dad is being very rude and making food for himself instead of starving like a good father would. Then there's the
Stop abusing your dad on this podcast.
Then there's the 3 eras pattern video where I explain about how a lot of franchise have the iconic classic era, then the second era where they try new things, but then some dipshits like, I don't like that, I want to go back to the old stuff. And the next era is just constant nostalgia pandering, and the 4 examples used are Sonic, MK, Terminator, and Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a very interesting pattern. You said you can put it in many like other franchises, like apply it and stuff, and you do notice that.
It's shocking how a lot of franchises just are like that. And it's very frustrating because it means that the series just stop doing new things, and then if you're not a mega franchise, you basically die, while these other mega franchises get to just keep doing the same shit over and over again because the world sucks ass.
Yep.
Then I did.
Well,
no, go on.
Well, we might see the end of that soon though, because they're not getting any financial returns on that, so they may have to actually start being original again.
Depends. Some are successful, some aren't. Yeah.
Well, like Disney Marvel, Disney Star Wars definitely lost money in 2023, and then Disney Marvel also definitely lost money in 2023. So they got to make a change, because it's one thing to not be a blockbuster like they've been in every year before, but to literally not even break even is crazy for those guys. So
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. Star Wars, it applies, but would you say Marvel, like, Phase 4 was pandering to like the older nostalgic audience? Because I feel like Phase 4 was also that experimental, we're gonna leave out our heroes and we're gonna do all these new characters, and it's not turning out very well. Maybe we should.
It was a weird mix of both, because on the one hand, like, they tried to reference the stuff that we like, oh, member berries, do you remember this?
Yeah.
But they also tried to like twist and contort it like a Frankenstein's monster. So it's a weird mix of both
I mean,
things.
because we started to see the dawn of the multiverse stuff, and a lot of that is just, let's bring back Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire. Like, they're meant to be both getting big roles in Secret Wars or something, and it's like, let's just go back to all the old shit. From the
really?
Oh
yeah,
this.
Really? 2000s. I get what you mean now. Yeah.
So it's not
90s X-Men, baby.
It's not on MCU pandering yet, but I'm sure in the multiverse we will start seeing, here's Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., but it's a different Tony Stark, and just terrible shit like that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Mean, I guess I misunderstood the question. Are we mad at them for constantly doing the same thing, or are we mad at them for like abusing and contorting the classic things we like?
You should watch the video to find out. But yeah, like, Snake, you can explain it a bit better. Yeah.
Because they both kind of fall in that category.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
like...
watched the video.
F
you, Sonic. I watched the video.
It's about how
that was the best witch cackle ever. Anyway.
They just keep mining the same original stories and just doing them not as well. So it's worse versions, and it's like, I'll just watch the original Star Wars if I want to watch Star Wars. I'm not going to watch if I want to watch Terminator 2, why would I watch Dark Fate? I'd watch Terminator 2 because that's like a good film and not a dank fart. So
same with like Star Wars. You mentioned, like, if you want to watch A New Hope, watch A New Hope. Don't watch Force Awakens. Yeah, that's the 7th one.
The farce and gorgeous.
Farce and gorgeous. Yep, I know that video.
And then I did the finally did the MK9 NetherRealm's Biggest Losers
after
video.
6 months later.
It's actually 8.
And it was wrong, by the way. You miscounted, but it's whatever, you know.
I'll try to get the Injustice one out within the next few months, but it won't be like during Mortal May. But this whole thing did prompt this stupid argument on Twitter, where someone was arguing the case that because someone said about how Kano's a fucking loser in the game, someone else was like, oh, well, in MK11, Kano beats Johnny Cage 3 times.
It's true.
And their argument was, well, there's a part where he captures young Johnny off screen. It's like, oh, okay, there probably was a fight there, sure. We can't guarantee it, but most likely Kano fought him, yeah. Then we have the bit later where he captures him during Sonya's chapter, and it's like, well, he's already wounded, and like, so's Cassie, she's been shot, so it can't be that difficult. I don't know if there would have been a fight, but I can concede the point that... Yeah, it's reasonable.
The thing
to
is,
assume.
though, it's like Cassie was there, so did she, like you said, Cassie's wounded.
Yeah, it's reasonable to think there probably was a fight there, but the argument is he also beat Johnny Cage by shooting him in the leg from off screen. That's a fight, apparently, and their argument was, well, Kano takes Johnny out of the action and then gets his hostages and leaves and blows up the base. So he succeeds in his mission. Therefore, it counts as a win. And I'm like, but we're talking about fights. Shooting someone from off screen before a fight started is not a fight. It's a sucker punch with a bullet. And they just
don't tell the hood. Don't tell the hood that.
Of course, this person had a Kano profile picture and in their name, so clearly it's severe copium, like not even very good copium. So fuck 'em.
The conversation that needs to be had for this is: did this fight showcase? Is it a point for A or B? Like that's what the fights are there for, basically, to showcase if this moment does literally Kano shooting Johnny make it so, aha, see, this obviously proves that Kano is now stronger than Johnny, or wins a fight by 1 point, which is why I don't really agree with some of the parts that you skip, but you don't have like the cutscene fights in there, some of them, especially like the Sindel part.
Yeah, because they're not fights. It's just her punching people out. That's not really a fight.
Well, she beats them. Oh. She beats up like whoever fights her. That obviously means she's stronger than the other person.
Yeah, but like if you go and like punch a baby unconscious, is that a fight? No.
Are you saying they're babies? What?
That baby was asking for it.
They put
Okay,
up as
he was
much
talking
resistance. Like Striker runs up and gets punched in so hard his nose pierces his brain and kills him. So like,
so wouldn't that prove that she's stronger than him in that aspect? Like, wouldn't that prove that she won that fight?
But it's not a fight. I'm not trying to tell you who's the strongest character. I'm just saying who wins the most fights.
See, Sonic,
and that's not a fight.
It's not a fight, Sonic. It's not a fight.
All right, Trinidog's on your side. I'm not continuing this argument then.
The word fight is never declared. Nightwolf yells attack. He does not yell fight. He yells attack.
There's a kick moves. There are defenses put in there, but okay.
I can't believe Dog.
I understand.
I can't believe Dog is trying to bring in Johnny Cage, Scorpion's Revenge logic into this. Did you declare Mortal Kombat? Did you declare Mortal Kombat?
I like that scene. I like that line.
Yep.
I mainly like it because like Scorpion's honest and actually indulges the question. He doesn't like go, "Oh, this idiot" or whatever. He goes.
Yeah, he's like he like shakes his head like no.
Like, no, I didn't. Good, fair point. Not articulated in the most sophisticated manner, but good point, Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Me no ask fight. Me no maybe want fight. Me want avenge dead family. Not beat up random dudes. No, but I mean, I did agree with Sonic behind the scene, so this is like a real backstabbing moment. I just want to move on.
Wait, hang on. Am I hearing this right? You two are shit talking my video behind the scenes?
You can see our conversation in the Discord server, Snake. That's not behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes for the fans, basically, because we had a chat like in the server.
Yeah, I just said that I do think that those wins should count, but I also realized if those wins counted, then Sindel wins like by a large margin.
Yeah.
Dog, what is
exactly.
What is this picture you posted, Dog?
What did he post?
Which one?
This Delia one.
He's just posting a Delia fan art.
I just love finding goofy fan arts and just posting them in our Discord.
This is a chibi art of Delia with like big spirals in her eyes because she's hypnotized. What the fuck, dog?
Oh, is that what it is? See, I thought it was she was hypnotizing us, and she like keeps the veil down as like a nerf. So when she lifts the veil up, she like can hypnotize anybody she looks at.
Can you imagine if that was her power?
This is so random. I will say in that video, because I was like, dang, does anyone else lose 4 times like Reptile? Oh no, he's gonna be the biggest loser. And when she brought up Bihan, I was like, holy shit, this guy just never wins. It's so bad for him.
Noob Saibot lost for our sins.
So I was able to make an amusing short about how Bihan does not lose. Because he says that, he's like, I do not lose, and then...
You made that awesome short.
Oh, you poor summer child who don't want to fight in over 30 years.
I'm sorry, but Sonic, I now must make this joke because I just made the idea that like she covers her eyes as like a Nerf or whatever, and this fan art has Delia using like a little purple glow in her hands for some reason. So now I'm thinking of that meme, I alone am the honored one. Like she reveals her eyes and she's like, purple.
Oh, I know what you...
Snake does not know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's okay.
no, it's okay, Snake. It's okay. It's a very funny thing. You should watch that show just for the memes. I think it's really worth it, just for the memes.
What show?
Just for the
You know eventually.
For the boys.
Wait, what were we talking? Oh yeah, Snake's videos. Yeah, it's,
and then I also got a short about Scorpion's nationality. How he said 4 of them.
that is very
nice.
interesting. Yeah, I saw that one too. I was like, oh, okay.
So be like, oh, I don't like Guan Liang Scorpion. It's like, well, he's just back to being Chinese like he was originally. Or
I do kind of
close
want
enough
to
originally.
delve into that when I talk about him in Chapter 9 in my video because, like I said, the people who hate Kuai Liang and how he's ruined
They
because
don't
he takes
shut
the
up.
Yes, they really hate him. One of the things
forget-
that they're offended about him is because it's like he's Chinese, so why can he like take Japanese culture into his moveset? That's racist. And I'm like, I want to look into this a bit more because it's like,
Do they not know where Japan came from? Like, just honest to God question. Do they think people were just like born in Japan naturally? Like nobody ever moved there?
Remember how in MK Law, that the Shiryu teachings are all literally stolen from the Lin Kuei? Takeda stole that. He was Lin Kuei and he stole that stuff and took it to Japan and made a ninja clan. That's actually been law since 1997. Like it's
true.
It's literally always been cultural appropriation.
And the joke I was gonna make is like, can you get mad at me as a guy who's in the United States? Could you get mad at me for copying what a European does?
Yes.
It's not like
I was
not that
thinking
far
of that
off.
too. I was just thinking like, is it wrong for a Chinese person to learn like Japanese culture and stuff? It apparently for many people it's like
Fellas.
this is disrespectful and whatnot.
Because a lot of these people would honestly rather everyone just stay in their lane and just have everyone be segregated. And it's like the world's a better place when everyone just like embraces each other's cultures and just explores these things, and everyone gets to like, yeah, let's share what we all do, what we all bring to the table, all come together as a one race rather than as like individual race that treat like different species. You fucking freaks.
Listen, if I can't celebrate Cinco de Mayo with a giant sombrero, then I don't want to celebrate at all.
And just FYI, by the way, I will shit talk like Scorpion in that episode. There's so much to shit talk him for, but like this aspect about it, I do want to look more into it. Being like just like, I know we hate what they're doing. I mean, this is better than Hanzo, but it's like
I'm looking forward to the comments where people say, this is disgusting. How can you, a white man, comment on this topic? Because they're going to make that assumption.
Nah, that's not gonna happen because only the real fans watch until the 3-hour mark, so we're probably safe. Let's just be real.
How dare you?
But I will say, if that person exists, which they do on Twitter, but if those people actually play the game, they must have got real triggered immediately when they saw the Day of the Dead costumes for Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Just getting triggered on all ends.
I don't know.
Or when they saw Johnny Cage
nobody
wearing
brought that up as anyone's being offended by that.
Yeah.
At least that's
or
good.
when exactly, and Johnny Cage wore the South America football colors, like soccer outfit too, and like no one got mad. So that was an NKX. By the way. That was a while
NKX
ago.
gave Kung Lao a fucking like sombrero and like a big fucking goofy mustache, and no one complained as far as I know.
It's a fun
It was
one.
amazing. It was amazing.
Any other videos you want to?
Well, just today for patrons, have released the third MK Chronicles
The
audiobook.
voiceover.
So that obviously that'll be up public by the time this video goes out.
I
But yeah,
see.
that
Imagine
was
being a Snake patron. Cringe.
that one's 20 minutes long, and it's basically about the backstory of Kitana and Melina and Sindel.
Cool.
And I've changed the format a bit. I'm not using like screenshots for it anymore. I'm just playing like a shot from like one of the stages, like a background, and just have that because it makes it a lot easier. Because if I'm not having to find images that specifically relate to what's going on, it's a lot easier to get the videos out as opposed to spending like days doing that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
go, here's just a stage.
I wouldn't mind also listening to your video as a podcast kind of like way, and just listening to the story and do stuff and whatnot.
Snake, you know what you got to do? Just got a random video idea. This would be better for April Fools or something. But hey, you can feel free to drop it whenever you want to. You should make a video where you rant about all your issues with the Mortal Kombat games, but in like a more soft kind of voice, and just call it like "Fall Asleep to Four Snake Shit Talking Mortal Kombat ASMR."
ASMR Lo-Fi Snake.
Which is very softly talking.
And of course, we all know Quan Chi was not originally part of MK1-3. It was not him who came up with the idea to resurrect Sindel. That was a plan Shao Kahn already had. And Shang Tsung, of course, we already know Shang Tsung, the classic original sorcerer. Yes, he is the one who resurrected Sindel, and then Quan Chi fucking stole it. Fucking pronouns.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
Again.
And you did get dog to fall asleep. It's very, very wholesome.
Yeah. My favorite thing about ASMR videos is when they have to do a sponsor and they have to keep the ASMR voice going.
Oh, that's funny.
You never seen that? It's so
No,
good.
I don't watch ASMR, but that sounds
I
amazing.
never knew about that.
Today's video is sponsored by. It's like they're like holding it.
And of course, the heroes are led into battle by Raid Shadow Legends, the sponsor of today's video. Over 600 epic champions.
You joke, but that did happen. They did a whole raid sponsor in the ASMR voice and everything.
Please find that.
Wow.
I gotta try and find it. It's
I
from a
need to
long
see
time
that.
ago, though.
The
Have y'all seen those random? Oh, this is such an off-topic that you can cut this out if you want to, Sonic. But I've been laughing super hard because my phone. I watched this one time, and now my phone is flooded with the fake ASMR clips. They're only like 1 minute long, but they're like professional voice actors, or they sound professional. Like they're amateur, but they're really good at voice acting, and they have the most over-the-top titles, like. Cute barista finally fucking snaps and loses their shit when you order 17 lattes or something.
That's so
or like your boyfriend is whispering to you lovingly and then crashes the car.
Yes, I saw that one. Yes, and that video is amazing. It's just like halfway through, it's like, I think I'm in love with you. Wait, what's going on? Ah!
oh god, my leg.
Sometimes I just love looking at the title. My favorite one is just like, what do you call it? ASMR beats you until you fall asleep. ASMR, and it's just like a guy on the camera, like about to like beat you down and stuff.
Just doing this.
Yeah.
But over and over again.
No, it's just that Garrus clip playing on loop.
So I'm actually kind of happy we did a bit like
funny Garrus combos to fall asleep to.
I want to
POV.
I want to do one now where it's like assassin, very angry assassin tries to break into your window, but he sucks at it. It is very salty the whole time, and it's like, I'm gonna fucking get you, you piece of shit. Why does this lock work? Just fucking wait there. I'll fucking get your ass. God damn it! Didn't teach us this fucking lock in ninja school. Motherfucker.
You hear the kung 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 like glass sounds. It's very quiet ASMR-y. Kung kung
Yeah.
kung kung.
And he's afraid to yell because he's an assassin, so he can't wake anyone up. But he's just so angry he can't get in. He's pretty good.
So I'm pretty happy that we actually got to record this a bit earlier because like if we recorded this next week, it would very like we would be hitting very close to like the next video I release, which I was hoping that wouldn't like happen that way. So it's a good thing that we're doing it like this week. But by the way, what you guys think about Chapter 4?
It's good.
You made a video? Just kidding, no.
Unfortunately, it did not have a cameo by me, so it was 0 out of 10.
Damn. I mean, you did provide the footage of. What did you put that footage of?
It was the quitality, yeah. The
That was-
there is one really
dies
cool-
of cringe.
Yeah. You
There
also
is
gave
one
me
really
the
cool thing
the
that-
inspiration to do the Quan Chi with the Shang Tsung. Part.
Oh, yeah.
That was straight up you. That was straight up your influence, basically.
I will say that the Kenshi thing was cool too. Like when you pointed out like all the different things that happen if you lose. I didn't know that there's like a little text that shows what happens when you lose the story mode matches.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I never lose. Not even my virginity, I never lose. But so I didn't know there was like funny text like that. And you pointed out like, so let me get this straight. Getting defeated by this person is actually better than being defeated by
Shang Tsung.
Tanya because she fucking kills you.
Yeah, basically. Shang Tsung brings you into like the flesh pits. It's horrible. But if you lose to Tanya and Rain, you just die. they just execute you.
Just fucking dead. You get stomped to death by Shiva snoo style.
That
is your death.
It almost implies that because they do kind of work with Shang Tsung to stop Melina, so it's almost like he's like, I feel either he's like there's potential in these guys, or he's like, I liked working with these guys. I want to work with them again, or I feel indebted to them for helping me to get things back under control. And it's just like he's just like a really chill guy. It turns out, Shang Tsung.
He just tried to be really helpful. He's like, actually, you know what? I do want to help them out now. It's like a Fallout 4, like a secret ending and stuff.
I forgot what happens if you lose to Melina. Does she just eat you?
Yeah, she just kills everyone there.
Or is it not?
That's the ending, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she frenzies everybody.
Well, it implies
interesting.
like you're all dead there,
okay.
basically.
The funny thing is, because of the current state of the MK setting, those outcomes probably all happen in the multiverse somewhere.
Oh gosh.
That's why I fucking hate multiverse. It's so stupid.
So
it makes everything not matter.
Like, could you imagine if that was how they approached the invasion? So it's like, okay, the invading Melina is a Melina who went out of control and just killed everyone there, and then she was like went mad and was like, I'm going to make an army of clones of myself. Ha ha ha. And then that's what invading Melina is. And then Bihan is one who kills Scorpion, and it's like, no, I killed my brother. Fuck you, Tomas.
That is interesting, ideally, but I don't think that's true because Scorpion's invasion season is Hanzo, so that's like a character that's completely different.
It could have just been a version of Kuai Liang who defeats. He defeats Kung Lao, and it's like, oh, these guys aren't ready. So Liu Kang's like, damn, I guess let's hit the Lin Kuei. Sub-Zero dies in the tournament. Scorpion goes mad. It's like, no, I will save my brother.
I do like how I get in the comment section of my video, people are saying like, okay, so this is supposed to be a Kenshi video, right? But then why do I feel like this is more of a Goro video? It's like, Kenshi featuring Goro and stuff like that.
I forgot this was a Kenshi episode, not the Raiden one. Damn.
And then we got a great animation too from that one person on Twitter. They took that one clip of you roasting Goro, but they put it on Fire God Liu Kang. Who put clothes on you? Take it off!
And there lies the problem. Why is he wearing clothes? Take it off!
That was insane. I was so happy that someone made that like animation. I was like, holy crap. And apparently there's gonna be a longer one eventually, but I was super happy about that. That rant is half sarcastic and half like kind of genuine. On one hand, I do hate what they do with Goro, but on another hand, I'm like, you can't really shit talk that many characters as much as I did in this Goro video. It's like, you think of any other character in Mortal Kombat. Can I actually say take it off and all that kind of stuff if it were some other character? But who the fuck gives a shit about Goro? So it's like, I feel like I could kind of like meme and express this sort of stuff onto Goro and that sort of rant way, and sort of like a humorous stuff in that case.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that was good. I like that video. It's a shame you didn't do like what I recommended, which is the instant that Kenshi gets blinded, just make the screen black for the whole episode, and then just be like, oh my gosh, Kenshi POV.
You just hear the voices and all the sound effects as like later on in the video, be like, what is going on? What the fuck?
And also don't forget that later on, when you eventually get to all the way to fucking the chapter where Sindel dies, you better bring up what we all joked about here, which is, so you're telling me that Kenshi took a pretty deep side stab to both eyes and did not die, which makes sense within Mortal Kombat lore, because you can come back from anything. But then Sindel dies from a single stomach stab in typical... What?
A part of me kind of wants to cut this part of the podcast, because I feel like it's going to be a giant... Because you remember there was a gigantic rant I had about... I'll just say it. Remember, because the Kenshi episode is basically, here's chapter 4. But basically, half the video is just me complaining about Goro and me complaining about Kenshi's sword not being consistent in the episode.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
You guys,
I like that.
I actually went back to that Sindel fight,
but it was still funny.
And didn't they just randomly get those like katanas out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and they just start using it? Did you notice what the katanas were?
Please tell me those are not
were?
like Kenshi swords or specifically
Sentos.
Sento.
I'm pretty fucking sure. I was looking at the handle. I
In fairness,
just looked at the fight.
if Evil Sindel had it. Well, no, there isn't.
It was just on the ground
in that timeline.
It was literally just on the ground.
If she just rocks up with Sento, and there was no evil Kenshi that appeared, that would have been really cool. It's like, Kenshi died in this timeline, and Sindel's got his sword now.
He's already
dead
there,
cool,
yeah.
But alas, no.
I was just looking at the fight, and I was just like, hang on a second. I look at the handle, I'm like, oh, I've seen that handle too many times. Because for Chapter 4, I looked at almost every single chapter. Even before I released the video, there was a part of my video, and I was like, they got it right in Chapter 2 and 3. Why'd they get it wrong here? But then I look back at my own footage, and I'm like, oh shit, they got it wrong again in Chapter 3. It's like, fuck. I didn't even notice that until like the last week before I uploaded, so I had to change the line. They got it right in Chapter 2, and they fucked it up in Chapter 3 again. So now it's like, that's kind of like a thing I'm going through the video, is just paying attention to Kenshi's katana. And this is the thing I told you guys like half a year ago. Once you start looking at his katana, you will see more and more parts from him. It's just like, I noticed that. And again, kind of stuff happening. Yeah, it's one of those things.
I was hoping, man, I would have thought at the very least it was going to be just like the Undead Army's swords. Like they knocked one of them over and like it was one of their swords, but no, it's got to be Sento. Because they're lazy with the models.
But either way, that's for a future eventually thing happening. For this next episode, I told you guys before for my Chapter 3 video with the Raiden one, I put way too much effort into that. For this next video, I feel the exact same way with it, however, not in the aspect of the entire video, but only because I finished the video in like a week, and then I had some more editing stuff that made it around like 20-ish minutes. But there is a 2-minute segment in that video that took me an entire week. I took an entire week just to make a 2-minute section in that video. And I'm not talking like oh, it's just a couple hours, like 6 to 8 hours a day to get through 20 seconds of that animation. So that part of the video, which I'm not spoiling, is going to be like the most effort I put into like any video I probably have ever made. Just those 2 minutes in my video. And poor Snake, I think.
Well, God bless you.
Yeah, he got like started coughing very hard.
I mean, we're already pushing the limits with every single one of these podcasts that just keep getting longer and longer.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit worried with the Q&A session too, which is coming up.
We gotta save that for a different video, maybe.
I think we can just do like one question, just to end it off and stuff. It'll be a very easy question. Hello.
You okay, Snakey?
You okay, Snakey?
Snakey boo?
You okay, Snakey?
Yeah, I was eating some sweets and the saliva went down the wrong way, and I didn't have
the wrong pipe.
I didn't have any drink to deal with it.
Got you. It's a good thing, yeah. good thing you got that taken care of. But also, like, I actually have a homework assignment for all my fans who are watching. I'll post this like probably the week before I upload the video too. But like, I have a video called the Poker Skit Compilation. It's basically just the compilation of all the poker skits that I've made, and then like the second half of it is the Q&A of like a bunch of fans asking the Poker Skit gang some questions. I put a lot of effort into this video, so I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. But just for some random ass reason, recommend you watch this before the Chapter 5 video. You'll get a better experience. I'm just saying for no reason whatsoever. Here's a question for you guys. Have you guys seen the meme that's like the "oh, she's 2D turn around" meme? Have you seen that before? You know that, Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, she's 2D. Lewis, turn around. It like shittily like it turns around like this like the boobs of the penis being like gigantically long and whatnot. Yeah. I'm just bringing that up for no reason whatsoever. This will not like no reason whatsoever. Doesn't affect like what's about to happen in a week from now or something. No reason whatsoever. Just bring it up. Just making sure people know that meme exists. Seeing as like Snake almost choked out of his life just then. Let's get to the final.
That's what he gets.
For what?
That's where he gets. That's where he gets for giving Sindel 0 wins. No. So, we recently did a Q&A question in the YouTube community tab, where we asked you guys to give us some questions that we could have at the end of the episode. And now we usually get some comments. It's very nice, like 20 to 40 comments-ish on our videos. It's always really nice to see them and stuff. But we weren't expecting too many questions that we were going to receive for our Q&A sessions. We got 70. So we have a lot of questions that we can go through, and we'll probably go through a couple of them at the end of the episode, just kind of like end off the episode, just like some fan questions. And so we really appreciate all the questions you have. If you have more questions, just put it in this community tab. I'm just going to probably read out what we have currently throughout the episodes, because we have a lot of questions. And also we have a lot of...
There better be some weird ones.
Oh yeah, we do have some funny ones. We got things like, where's the third snake? So we got that often. We have one that says, like, naked, oil off, who's reptile, Koto, Goro, Moloch, who's winning the torque off? I don't know. And the funniest thing is, another different person below that was like, naked, oil off, reptile, and the predator, who's winning the torque off. And I'm just like, two different people. What the fuck? Two different people.
Specific meme that I've never heard of.
Yeah,
you haven't heard of this torque off meme?
No.
Well, the obvious answer is Goro, because if you watch Foxy Grandpa, a lot of his videos have that meme of a twerking Goro on the moon.
I do not know about that.
On the moon?
Yeah, I do know about that
Yeah.
one.
It's a joke because a different creator was ranting. He's like, "Oh, next thing you know, it's gonna be a fucking twerking Goro on the moon." And then, so Foxy did that for like his joke. I think it's just be a donation thing, but then he made a whole ASMR, and it's like fall asleep to twerking Goro on the moon.
Oh my gosh!
It's like, it's just Goro like doing this pose, but like he's facing away from you, and his ass is going like, like it's animated a little bit, like going up and down.
Oh my gosh! Here's a fun fact. In the Q&A, I basically, if I post a picture, it'll get more engagement. I post the Mavado and Ray William Johnson picture, so I got a couple people being like, "So where are you guys getting Ray William Johnson on your podcast?" and stuff like that, just like Ray William Johnson replies. But anyways, we're kind of in the later part of this podcast, so I'm going to pick questions that have gotten the most upvotes for this part right now, because I feel like I've seen that before, that GIF. For adults.
It's pretty fast. Like the first 10 seconds you see it. What I like is that it alternates. It's not just up and down. It's like a little circle wiggle every now and then in his ass.
So the highest rated comment. Okay, I gotta get this girl twerking off my screen. The highest rate. You know what? For the podcast people, I might as well put that like on the bottom right of the screen. You're just gonna see twerking girl for the next 15 minutes. The highest rated comment, for some reason, is a very simple question. Who's your favorite? By White Gaming 491, spelled WYATT, White. Who is your favorite 3D era character? Feel like the answer is pretty obvious for Snake, but what about you, Doug? Who's your favorite 3D era character?
Is it?
And it's got to be a 3D original, I'm guessing.
Yeah, from.
I mean, how do you not pick? I feel like
from Deadly
like,
Alliance
how do you not pick Havoc?
Armageddon. Oh, that is a really good choice.
I mean, he's just so cool. But let me keep thinking about it.
I mean, you can pick Havoc. Do you want to count MK4?
No.
To be fair, I don't think there is any choices in MK4.
I actually have a video that I'm working on. Not right now, but I've written most of the script is discussing the subject of eras. You know, like MK4 is clearly arcade era.
Mm. Well, yeah, and I saw someone recently. They made a video and they're like, I don't know why we have any debate about it. MK4 is definitely like part of the 3D era. It has the 3D graphics. It has weapons. Does that stage fatalities too, I think? And
can you go?
No, I'm with Snake. I think it's not part of the 3D era because you legit can't play the game in a 3D manner. You can't sidestep or anything, so it's not 3D era. Like it's not 3D. Plus, the art style just completely changes and revamps with Deadly Alliance, so that's got to be the first one. Like it's just so different. You can't look at MK4 and be like, oh, that's a prequel to MK Deadly Alliance. No, it's just they took MK3, made it 3D, and then added weapons. It's like really all they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
I had time to like prepare for these answers since I've already read all the questions too, so it's kind of unfair for me. I'm giving you guys the thinking time. So I guess I can start off. My answer is Nitara.
Oh shit, good point. Yeah.
You will see an entire rant and explanation as to why I love this character in the Chapter 6 video, because I do have like a very long rant, but basically, you know, she's cool.
Stop eating sweets.
I'm not. I'm still dying from the last one.
Okay, let's hurry up this. But
okay,
yeah, that's the point. Is I like Nitara. I like her lore. In the Midway era. Next.
Well, I think Havoc too. I mean, I was gonna say like I'm always perpetually horny, so Chameleon is also a very cool character because she's like almost naked and she's invisible. But like
Chameleon,
other than
NK
her
trilogy,
look,
she's 2D era.
Unfortunately, yeah. Oh, so you're talking
okay.
about male
Well, I mean-
chameleon? Okay, true underdog. Very nice. Very cool.
yeah, no. But okay, fine. If I can't do Chameleon, I was gonna elaborate and say the reason I would never pick Chameleon anyway is because outside of her design, she's very uninspired.
She's
Like,
very
not
gimmicky.
interesting and different.
Yeah.
Havoc, everything about him is different. Like his gameplay is different. He hurts himself and like breaks his own bones. His look is cool. His realm is completely interesting, like the Chaos Realm and all that. And I especially love in the 3D games, which they fumbled really hard in MK1, he whispers. I like that.
Well, that's
I
not
like
the only
the
thing
element that he's like, I am a cleric of chaos. But it's just so cool because you would not know that unless you played the game. You look at Havoc, and he seems like someone who screams his head off, and it's like rah, 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 but he's not, and that's really cool.
I see. So you
And
were
they
just
fucked that
testing me.
Oh no, I was not testing you. I would have killed you if you had given me the chance.
It's like
ASMR
he's-
Havoc
he's
1 hour.
Yeah, basically ASMR Havoc.
Oh no.
Get the M1K voice actor to do like Havoc ASMR. That'd be so funny.
It's a good thing that in the reboot though that Havoc is Order Realm and not Chaos Realm, because if he was Chaos and he saw Rain whipping that water around, he would have just started bowing at his feet immediately. Lord of Water, because they worship water in their realm.
What about you, Snake? Who's your 3D era character?
Oh, I just had a horrible thought. What? Because I reckon Order Realm is going to become Chaos Realm. Because it's been devastated by the flood that Rain brought.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the origin for the Chaos Realm as worshipping water, because it brought them chaos and destroyed the Sado government. And then and Rain will be revered as a god, even though ironically in this timeline he has no actual godhood, as far as we know. And so if I don't know if that's clever or really terrible.
I
A
think
bit
you're
of both.
cooking.
I kind of like
I
it.
think you're cooking, actually, Snake. I actually do kind of like it. But
If I was
Sorry,
if I was
I found a
picking
funny screenshot.
a favorite character from the 3D era, it's tricky because Kenshi's just cool.
yeah,
But like,
it's
not
an obvious
for any,
pick too.
It's not really any deep reason. It's just he's just cool.
Yeah,
He just is. Like, whereas Havoc has some really good reasons, like Dog just laid out for. Like, here's what makes him so cool.
You can't pick mine. You can't pick mine.
I'm surprised Sonic didn't pick Onaga, because Scaly Boy has to.
ha
stick to his own
ha!
camp.
Yeah, everything's gotta
Scaly
be about
King.
Onaga. I mean, of course, I've. Everybody likes Onaga, but it's more like the potential of Onaga, and people are like, okay,
Yeah.
excited for his return, and it hasn't happened yet. He'd be my second.
Hey,
pick or third, I guess.
editor of this video, Photoshop Sonic's face onto Lee May and her betrayal ending with Onaga.
I
Do it,
hate
editor.
you. I hate you.
See, the joke is.
The joke. So would that be your
honestly,
answer, Kenshi?
Yeah, I think I say Kenshi.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I think this is one of those questions you can think a bit longer, but yeah, there's a couple like obvious winners here, and so the next question we have is Snake with 8 thumbs up. Connor Tom 72, is Snake a disgruntled Midway employee?
Yes. I was working at Midway. So I was working at Midway when I was like 15 to 17, and when the company closed when I was 17 years old, I was unfortunately let go. I wasn't brought over to NetherRealm, and that's why I, about 5 years later, decided to start making YouTube videos criticizing the company. But yeah, I'm glad some people picked up on it. I try not to be too obvious about it. Try to be subtle, because like the real OGs will recognize exactly what's going on. And I'm glad someone picks up on it.
Yes, thank you very much for making Sheldon Monks. Great job there.
Yeah, I produced a design document. Not the story stuff though. That was handled by other people. That's why it's all fucked up. If I'd handled it, it would have been good. But
yeah, I will
the
say
the whole idea of the co-op adventure game was mine.
I will say I'm a bit disappointed
Oh,
you never
wow.
released Tiamat, but other than that, great job. Good job.
Beyond my control. I just worked on it. I didn't control stuff.
Gotcha.
You have to talk to Ed about that.
True. So for the last question we've got here, and it's the third most liked question here. It's a bit of this one's a bit of a, like, you could probably come up with something very long, but by Ultra Magikarp 3AA0 with 7 likes. If you can make your own season of Invasions, what would you do? And like the limitations are pretty high. Like he says here, as an example, I would make a season themed around the Legends movies and have King Kano be the final boss. You know, so obviously not just like palette swapping, and like it's literally your own like season of Invasions. Kind of like the freedom is pretty high.
You can look at it from the perspective of Invasions will probably get more seasons even after the current run is done. We'll get more seasons after the expansion and that. So you can just say, fuck it, make Kano a playable character,
but only for a
King
boss.
Kano specifically, or anything. I said on Twitter recently that they should take the cameos and apply the models to character movesets as secret fights. So you can just give Kano's moveset to like Reiko or someone, and there you go. You've got a playable version of him, or to Melina, I guess, because the ball roll and stuff. And there you go. And then I just put King Kano on Melina's movesets.
A lot of people did say after Chapter 15, it's like, are they going to give us the custom, like, make your character from Armageddon back and stuff like that? Because it's kind of like that with the hybrids and stuff like that.
I would do, because it's whatever you want, right? So I would make it to where you fight like everyone's favorite costumed version of the characters for each of the Mesa bosses. So Deception Melina is one of the bosses. You beat her, you unlock Deception Melina. And then not just the sexy outfits though, they'd be like other iconic outfits too. Like I'm totally brain farting right now on other fan favorite costumes. I had it and then I dropped it while I was making the
no worries, it's been on for 3 hours.
My description. Dang.
Jade maybe.
No, they can't. Not the ladies. Of course, Jade. Of course. The joke originally was gonna be that I'm just a degenerate, and I'm like, yeah, all the sexy female costumes, you unlock them throughout the whole Mesa.
So the
then
sexy
the final
female
boss
outfit
is like
Mesa Invasions.
Yeah. Then the final boss is like Flesh Pits Melina, or like even funnier, it's the alternate Deception Melina costume, which is actually her most revealing outfit ever made, to the point where it's just hilarious.
Yeah. Which I think was actually in Playboy once.
It was a cover, yeah, or just inside of it at least. Yeah. But there's other characters too that have iconic outfits in like older games that I was gonna mention. But sure. Naked Goro.
I mean
Old
the man
Goro,
has
let's
confidence. Remember, Goro kept that costume from MK1 all the way through Armageddon. For the whole original timeline, he kept one outfit. He was confident.
He brought that spandex and he rocked it, yeah.
You even get like the classic cameo outfits. You get Armageddon Chameleon finally. You get
oh yeah,
Deception Tanya, all that cool stuff. Yeah, that probably would be what I would do. I had a cool idea for the final boss too, but I had a great idea. I just brain farted on all of it.
Yeah, maybe you could
I
think
gave my
back.
first part of the idea. I saw your faces. You were underwhelmed, and it got to me. I was like, damn, my idea is shit. I thought it was funny and good.
The stage frights, yeah. The dog is the degenerate season, so obviously for me it'd be like the reptile season.
The season of fan favorite costumes. We'll call it the season of the fans.
Season of the
all the outfits
fans.
you want.
So like obviously it's like I'm already getting my season next couple weeks already, so we'll see what they do there. But if I were to manage that season, I would be doing all the scaly characters, so even Chameleon. Also, I probably would reference the MKX like reptile ending with the Saurian race, especially with the Lizard Queen. Is that what she's called? I forgot but she's the queen.
The
basically.
Saurian matriarch, yeah.
Yeah. The point is somehow bring her into the Mesa too. Maybe also that. but I would do like the freaking how like the ending, or even like the Melina season and like the Raiden season where you see all the different versions of like Raiden and stuff. I do that with Reptile, all the different like reptiles. You can see little 95 version are just like running up and whatnot and stuff like that. All the fun stuff, yeah. All the scaly fun stuff. Basically, I'm just gonna do whatever the next season is, but better. That's essentially what I'm suggesting.
Okay. Cheater.
For me, I'm sure I could come up with a better one, but the one I just thought up now is Shujinko is the boss, and basically every Mesa boss is him with a different character's moveset. So it's this kind of thing I mentioned before. But like, so at this fight, he's going to have Liu Kang's moveset. For this one, he's going to rock up with Sub-Zeros, and for this one, he's going to have Raiden's. And so you have like 5-6 different fights against Shujinko, each with a different moveset.
That sounds pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Shouldn't it be?
I do wish, like, I feel like visually it'll get kind of old, but it's a very cool concept.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe it's a different version of Shujinko age-wise too. That could be sick. Like you fight him when he's younger. That way he's a different look each time. It'd be kind of cool.
That is a pretty cool idea.
And then the costume you unlock would be actually, design accurate
Deception
Shujinko.
Shujinko. Yes, finally.
I got a bit salty when Snake first reviewed that trailer and said that, oh, it's Shujinko, and he looks like shit. But now I've totally come around to that way of thinking. I'm like, yeah, he looks nothing like Shujinko, really.
There's a lot. Yeah, we've gone through his design quite a lot of times too. But not a bad Kameo fighter though. He is definitely very fun and unique in that aspect. But
Love him as a fighter.
Fortunate for design.
As a cameo.
And that's the episode.
I got another one.
Sorry.
It's Janet Cage, the evil one in red that you can fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And her thing is gender swaps. So everyone gets a gender swap costume.
Oh, okay. That is.
Oh no, he's just trying to make his fanfic real. He's just trying to.
This has nothing to do with the fanfic, dog.
No, the fanfic is her and Sonya. Being very gay together. I forgot. I released 2 MK Chronicles chapters recently. Quickly say, the first one is because when I did the big one about Johnny and Sonya's life together and Johnny's career after the tournament and his marriage to Sonya and Cassie and all that coming up, I didn't explain at all how Johnny and Sonya met.
Oh,
it just didn't come up. So finally, a few years later, here's the story. It's them. It even explains where Sonya's weird yoga outfit came from. And
cool.
It's basically just a bit about those two and their first meeting. Then I wrote one about Janet Cage during the final battle. I reinvented the fight against Goro. So it's like she's working with an older Johnny, a younger Johnny, and Ninja Mime. And Goro's hammers are the hammers of 4 different characters. So it's Shao Kahn's, Raiden's, Noob Saibot's, and Reiko's. So it just implies more history. Like, oh, he killed these guys and took the hammers. So then these 4 are teamed up against him, getting in the cool moves. And then Janet encounters Sonya, and it gets gay. Very gay indeed.
It gets very gay.
Preparing for June. But yeah, that's the episode. I think we should cut it as soon as possible because I don't think Snake is going to be able to last much longer.
Guys, I want a Kano season where everyone's bald and has the Terminator eye.
So literally every single one of those chapter 15 variants are the Mesa bosses, and every single one has a unique intro where the actor has to put on a shitty Australian accent like Liu Kang does.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Cage would be a delight. I bet Andrew Bone with an Australian accent would be so good.
Yeah.
It would be so good.
It's impossible though. I got ripped into for my bad Australian accent in my video, but I rewatched it and I thought it was pretty good.
It's fucking crikey combat time. C word because I can't say it because we'll get demonetized.
Those dastardly
don't say the C
emus.
word.
Got
don't
a 5-finger
demonetize us
discount. That's true. Don't say that.
Your fucking soul is mine.
Shit, now I choke.
Get the fuck over here.
This Australian accent is choking me. Okay, we should end the episode soon. Did you guys notice my cup, by the way? I've been using this cup all episode.
The Copcast.
I have successfully poisoned everyone, and now I can replace the podcast with much more popular hosts. Let's go.
You won't get away with the top tier naming.
Drink water.
Is it over yet?
Goodbye.